Where's salute. I know we're a little early today, but I'm trying to get this out the way so that I can enjoy the rest of my what you call it. Damn, I didn't even send this to y'all. Wait, first let me go over here on YouTube. I mean on IG, YouTube at Active Chucks. Everybody on IG. Salute to everybody on Twitch. Go to YouTube at Active Chucks. I'm pinning it right now. So if you're on Twitch, if you're on Instagram, or if you're on YouTube or Facebook at Active Chucks, we are live early today. Okay, so now we didn't open no clubhouse room tonight. Now I'm gonna have to send this to Yael. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't sending y'all the clip. Hey man, salute to everybody in the chat. What's the business? Hit that like button on your way in. Tell a friend y'all in here with the dime. It's Duke Sims. You know what I'm saying? We got the content for y'all today. I hope y'all enjoy the show. You know what I'm saying? And I'm finna send this to y'all right now. All right, boom. All right, so y'all, I sent that to him. He'll be joining us as soon as he can. Let's see who we got up in here already. Big Marcus. First one in the chat, Active Chucks. You already know what it is, man. We really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful black lady. Salute to the chat. You know what I'm saying? With the hearts. I appreciate that. Renegade Duchess is up in here. Salute, salute. Welcome to the DAMU Kiwe Conversations. Hit that like button. Let me open this up so they can hear it. Hit that like button. Um, and it's don't be late. You know what I'm saying? Well, as soon as everybody get up in here, we'll get to the thing. Yes, there is a lie. Yes, there is a lie. You know what I'm saying? She said, "Is there a lie?" Yes, beautiful brother. Bird, what's up, bro? Salute to you. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Megan Davis, what up? BBL love from Bird. He's sending you love, beautiful black lady. You know what I'm saying? Megan Davis. See y'all in the chat. Miss Lisa, I'm gonna call y'all back. Salute, salute. Miss Lisa, happy Friday, everybody cooking and listening. Salute, glasses. I don't know what that is. Smoke with the Active Chucks. You know what I'm saying? Active Chucks on YouTube. If y'all don't know, pull up. We gonna get it cracking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm feeling better right now, but I got that surgery on the 13th. They'll do the oral surgery, removing both of my wisdom teeth. Get to it, Alan J. Salute, what up? We gonna get to it. Salute the Don Dukes and the chat. Best live around. Thank you, Taylor Gang. Happy Mother's Day to the mothers and fathers who are moms. Please make sure when you come in, you hit that like button, lace them chucks. Let's get active. That's a fact. Teasy, what up? Slimeball TV, what up? That thumbnail, laughing, funny. Ball player vibe, salute to you. Active Chucks, you know what I'm saying? You already know what it is, man. Enjoy the weekend. I hope everybody enjoy the weekend. Do not drink and drive. Have a designated driver or call an Uber. You know what I'm saying? It can save you a whole lot of money calling that little Uber instead of drinking and driving and have to get a lawyer and bail money because you caught a DUI. Teasy, what up? Andre, what up? Stay on a neck, fam. Hey, listen, we on a neck tonight for real. I'm waiting on y'all to get up in here. I'm quite sure y'all gonna come. Hey, in the meantime, in between time, let's go ahead and go get this cat. We gonna play a little music because y'all just text. He'll be on his way. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's go here. You know, SoundCloud, boom. We're gonna go here. Oh man, and what we gonna play? Oh yeah, let's play this real quick. Come on, turn this shit up. We gonna get into this content ASAP. Let's hit that like button.
Shit, do my shit. I'ma do my shit. Do my shit. Show 5500, gotta bring the toast. Had it in a full tucket, light
Lights
Grim
up.
shit, but I'm on Ascot. With Hooper Rock Bloods rapping like mascots. Jump out the deuce, bet the ass high. With the candy tie, act like you active, you get mad style. Come deuce in the brim, one time scat. Scalp parole day one, like fuck them shackles. Flamed up, skate the show, 3D tackles. Time to be up. ICs, hyenas, and jackals. Then I'm sad, 501, bitch, I'm hitting my brim and took a drag out of black pass into my hand. Roll OG, no skin, Bob's trying to fuck in. Yeah, how long as he helped the down, touch them in. Brim ganger don't bang in the lane, fool. You lanes hot, but my ice helps remain.
Niggas get buck with it, bitches get to touching. Daddy, we could work some.
Bitch got a fluff kitchen, camel toe like muffins. Trying to eat her out like a luncheon.
Niggas get buck with it, bitches get to touching. Daddy, we could work some.
Bitch got a fluff kitchen, camel toe like muffins. Trying to eat her out like a luncheon.
Bitches buck with it, but the queen having lunch. You ain't Kenya, you ain't never touched none. Reclining clubs, VIP model serve bubbly. Price of talking Portuguese like he'll find 100 keys. Oh nigga, I'm a boss, I send flockers with heat. I eat the wolves, you know about 54th Street. Reputable flockers who count commas, spitting them llamas. Fucking with me, best have a backpack and anaconda. I done traffic to China, ski mats for my green. While bitches selling vagina, I'm straight to go in these streets. Name's Cali, South Central Nest, and I'll put you to sleep. Keep my weapon still reppin', Van Ness is my section. Niggas playing for keeps, it's NWB. Cali hot just like this pussy and you ain't fucking with me? How about the Porsche on 54, looking like Barbie? On my mommy and FHM, won't no nigga harm.
Bitches get buck with it. Niggas get to touching. Lady, we can work some. Bitch got a fluff kitchen, camel toe like muffins. Trying to eat her out like a luncheon. Bitches get buck with it. Niggas get to touching. Lady, we can work some. Bitch got a fluff kitchen, camel toe like muffins. Trying to eat her out like a luncheon.
I guess y'all don't want to hit them likes. Let me see where them likes is at. We finna see right now. Because if them likes is, I'll say I won't even do the content, bro. Y'all been doing that shit for like a week. Motherfuckers come in, won't even hit the like button. Y'all just sit in the bushes on some hater shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like how you can't even just hit the like button. That is crazy. Yeah, man, hit that like button. We got 70-some people in here, and we ain't even got 40 or 50 likes up in here, bro. That's like half the people in here just on bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That is really crazy. But they say, man, you got to stay focused, man. Don't tell everybody your business because a lot of people be wishing the worst for you. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to see you succeed. How hard is it for them to hit the like button? I'm not a mother, but thank you. Same to you. This is a rough time because I miss my mama so much. Well, condolences to your mama, Megan Davis. We got the Kiwe pop star in here. Big Marcus says, stop hating. Yeah, for real. Anthony Terrell, salute. He said, what's happening, fam? And then we got Yael, who enters the building. Hey, Yael, I don't know why they ain't been hitting the like button and shit. Hey, move, nigga. This has been like a week straight, bro. Like right now, we already got like 80-something people, 80-something views already, and we ain't even got 50 likes. This is crazy.
Ah, shit.
But you know what I'm gonna do? We gonna get 10 more, and then we'll start the content. Until then, we finna get into some music. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what we'll do. We'll just get into some music till they feel like they want to hit 10 more. Yeah, 80-something people, almost 100 people that have been through here, and we got 40 likes. That is crazy, bro. They just be coming up in this motherfucker, getting the content, running to their channel, to they people's channel and running our shit, but ain't hit the thing. Hold on, we finna put a chat real quick. Is Do Sims tripping? Let me see. Is Do Sims tripping? Do Sims tripping if he shuts the live down for lack of support? Yeah, because if you don't value what I'm doing, then I really don't need y'all to be running the content for y'all. Let's go. We gonna start that poll. You know what I'm saying? Because that is crazy. And in the meantime, in between time, while we waiting on y'all to do that, we gonna get into this Yael, right? You know what I'm saying? Righty. Hold on, let's get into this. Hit that like button, share, tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, y'all is crazy. Rubbernecking. Y'all come up in here. Don't even support the channel with a like. Nigga ain't said send no super chat. Nigga ain't said send no cash app. Y'all come over here. Y'all can't even do that. That is crazy, bro. That shit really piss a nigga off. Y'all can't even support that. Niggas, and niggas wonder why niggas don't do it. All right, let's get them up. They starting to get up. Let's get into this after this. If we where we supposed to be, we'll be starting the content. Let's go. Hit that like button on your way in.
Hey, Roddy, you have some explaining to do.
You ever touched a
This
million
one
dollars?
we on bullshit today.
3, 2, 1.
Put on.
You didn't want to be a crip, you want to be a rapper. But follow this script, you can be an actor. Cause playing in these streets and get your ass. You ain't a real, yeah, you a mascot. I ain't kidding, I care, but I'm with all that. You a new era fitted, nigga, all cap. You think that clubhouse shit, put a stain on me. Nigga, you a little sick, I'm your big homie. Got your 20 million, put them 4Gs on the Jeep. Pay a for a lawyer that the homie never seen. I guess it's something that you did in a dream. Though it seems you gon' turn it down if you see me. To the black Mac, that's a DP. Come get your official from a real OG beat. Before you come through, they gotta run it by me. Have you ever touched $1 million? Have you ever touched $1 million?
You ever touched $1 million?
Have you ever touched
Thank
$1
you,
million?
Montana. Was by me. I'll be active with my chuck. We almost got 100 people in here. Let's go. Hit that like button.
Check your nigga paperwork, all facts. You run with a few snitches, that's a rat pack. Oh, righty. We know damn well you never thought about it. 3 second put on, you drop 2 bodies. Nah, that's how they young like it. That's on Park Village Crib. That's all bullshit. You try to tackle the homie, then Bird called quick. Rail said line it up. Bird said, nah, it's cool. Don't fuck his face up, cuz got interviews. No disrespect to my nigga Bird, but that contract you offered me, you got some nerve. Just like the letter that I rep, you know I had to curve. This gon' be the realest story that you never heard. Congratulations, little nigga, you made 4. But my respect in the hood is what you can't afford. Have you ever touched $1 million? Have you ever touched $1 million?
You ever touched $1 million?
Have you ever touched $1 million? Have you ever touched $1 million?
Put on.
3, 2, 1. Put on. Hey, man, hit that like button, man, on your way in. And to react to the poll do Sims be wrong if I had shut down the live because y'all wasn't supporting. Y'all supported now. We got enough people here to get right to the content. That's what y'all supposed to do when y'all come in. I got chucks on y'all. Got to get active. Now let's go. Let's get into here. I'll always wipe my feet before entering the house. Exactly. Damn, y'all just coming back. Arguing with grown men on the phone and getting the 3-finger treatment. Who do that? Quagmire 5-0. That's a fact. Hey, but look. Yeah, I don't know if you heard this, right? But we finna get into it. Can you hear me, bro?
Yes, sir.
All right, so check this out, right? Well, I think they said 10 minutes. They talking about CS2 Back. We finna get into the content. We got WACK100, aka Three Finger Back, lying to his people. They gotta be the dumbest motherfuckers on planet Earth on the 100 EBT side. So today's WACK100 lies. Bailbondsman is sending him his paperwork to the Texas gun case. You know what I'm saying? And he also is pulling the CS2 Back paperwork. Y'all ain't got to believe me. Y'all, damn, it shouldn't take an act of Congress just to hit the like button, people. That's right, Anthony Terrell. Hey, bro, this nigga said he gonna get his paperwork from the Bailbondsman. I ain't never heard no shit like that in my life. Hey, Yael, hey, I need to talk to your Bailbondsman, my nigga. We trying to run that paperwork on that case you had caught, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never heard no shit like that. Y'all?
Yeah, I ain't never heard of that. The Bailbondsman? Yeah, bro. He's a unique snitch.
Oh, man, super unique. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. Let's go. Watch me get to this real quick, man, so y'all can hear it yourself.
Somebody found that shit. Prince might have found it. Ghost might have asked. Prince found it. And me and Ghost was building about what he was going to do.
I'm waiting on it right now, Big Red 66.
I'm listening to him.
Court.
I say, Ghost, that's a good play. Add this to it. You get this, it's over with. You got the A to Z. This boy, you got to give you credit for the stick a fork in them game.
Hey,
that's a fact.
You gonna be rubbing your hands together like Birdman when you listen to this shit, man.
Man,
God, you said up in Baraboo.
That's crazy.
And Thomas, let me make sure your roof's all right.
Bro, no.
You hear me, Yoko Bagley?
Ghost talking about is crazy. Today we ordered
you hear me, bro?
Prince, I gave Prince information. He called down there to my Bailbondsman.
Man, listen, I don't give a fuck about no
Bill, I told you I was on. I had to call in every week for like 5-6 years.
Hit me up.
So them people remember me. The bondsman even remembered my attorney. Gave everything to Prince. They got the file number. So I called in there. We ordered them documents today. They in such a hit count.
Hold on, listen to that again, bro. This is nasty work.
The shit Ghost talking about is crazy. Today we ordered Prince. I gave Prince information. He called down there to my Bailbondsman from the Texas case. The bail. I told you I was on. I had to call in every week for like 5-6 years. So them people remember me. The bondsman even remembered my attorney. Gave everything to Prince and got the file number. So I called in there. We ordered them documents today. They in such a hit count. They said, we don't do a PRF or a DF. We can mail you the hard copy. Yo, I swear, bro. I swear. They said, we don't do none of that.
That recording. Want me to let that go?
That's how it is. Hey, yo, Prince, tell him, WACK give everything. It's crazy. Hey. I still got that number to
she remembered your ass, too. She was like, yo, boy, chose.
I mean, bro,
who is this rat nigga that he talking to that's lying for him? Talk about the Bailbondsman is saying that they actually got his paperwork. Bro, I have never heard of the Bailbondsman bringing the niggas sentencing transcripts, PSI or PSR, judgment of commitment, nothing, docket sheet, nothing. They don't have access to that. Now they might have your booking paperwork and your bail amount. That shit is crazy. But I guess them 100 EBT niggas believe this nigga. This nigga said he's getting the Texas gun case paperwork from his bail bond.
How many black people they bailing out. And bro, that's population 1350.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Plus, I had to call them every Tuesday or Thursday for like every week for like 5-6 years.
Motherfucker ain't never seen no money like that ever, too, though.
Yeah, she remembered me. She even told Prince, yeah, he had a big time attorney. I think he is in the building upstairs. I didn't even know my attorney was in the building.
She said, let me see if he's still up there. Let me go get him for you, Prince. I was like, you know what, G? Salute to you. Let me go talk to him real quick. Put him on the phone.
Prince, we need to pull that other work, the Main Street work. Because, you know, this is my first time
like
looking at an insert. I looked at that insert. I said, he got this. Whoever this is a...
And he pulling the Main Street paperwork. He got the nigga named Prince. Anybody know Prince from the 100 EBT side? What hood he from? He got to be from the land, because why else would you have somebody not from the land pulling your case up off the land?
Little drug dealer.
He a drug dealer.
That little insert, I said the CS2 insert, first time I really read it, I said, drug dealer. He's obviously from Main Street. Whoever, we need to go pull all that work, go do it. We doing a marathon on what the Texas work is my direct work. The Main Street work ain't my work, but we running through all this. Just running around making.
Hey, yeah, we got a super chat real quick, man. Iceman Vamp, $5 super chat.
We got Iceman Vamp with the $5 holler super chat. All you got to do is call Debbie. Well, man, Iceman Vamp, anything and everything that is given to the DAMU Kiwe Conversation is highly appreciated. Salute to you, your family, and tribe. Hey, I guess we should just call Debbie. Give her a good old call.
Oh, Debbie does that. Hit that like button if y'all just came in. Hey, man, everything given to the DAMU Kiwe Conversations is appreciated. Iceman Vamp, that's not a bad idea. You gotta know we on our BI right now. Let me rewind it a little bit so y'all can hear him talk about CS2 Back is a drug dealer in a Main Street crib. Didn't we already go through that? This nigga's a weirdo.
That little insert, I said the CS2 insert, first time I really read it, I said, drug dealer. He's obviously from Main Street. Whoever, but we need to go pull all that work, go do it. We doing a marathon on what the Texas work is my direct work. The Main Street work ain't my work, but we running through all this. Just running around, making up, creating. But yeah, that loose. I don't know why they want to even start playing. It don't even make.
It wasn't him. You know, it was the white. You know what?
You're right. Because see, you know what? On some real shit, when it first started happening, I said, Luke. We was on the phone a couple times. And she, I'm like, yo, Luke.
So, first, he just know he talking to a code of dumb motherfuckers over there on the 100 EBT side. Listen, man, I should have played fake dead and worked that whole side about I got some land to sell, and I got some fried ice cream to sell them dumbass motherfuckers over there. And the ice cream is called 100 EBT ice cream. I could have been rich. They the dumbest motherfuckers in the world over there. Hey, them motherfuckers really believe in this. First and foremost, I exposed the CS2 Back paperwork over 2 years ago, man. 2 years, if not 3. And you just now feeling like you got to get the paperwork so that you get on the Main Street case in the investigation of Deja 34 to clear your name. Why didn't you feel you need to clear your name when it first dropped? You want to know why? Because this shit done took a life of its own. Nigga underestimated the power of truth, the power of our voice, our resilience, right? The mind state and fortitude that it takes to consistently hammer it home until motherfuckers started to listen to the truth. and he ignored it. He blocked us on Clubhouse, our whole side. We don't do this. Hey, Chuck. Hey, Chuck. Hey, I'm talking to Chuck. I don't talk to you. Hey, Chuck, if you do this again, don't call me. Yeah. This nigga, we keep it in the dark. We don't do this. He tried to evade the reality and the truth. So 3 years later, it's getting to him. Everybody is calling him CS2 Back, right? Their discovery is about to drop. Hopefully, we got it picked up today. Big U went to court today, so hopefully we'll have our copy. We'll be bringing that to y'all ASAP. Breaking news. Soon we start sorting through it, digging through specific stuff that we want to cover on it. Firsthand, everything Big U. Y'all already know what he said. DAMU Kiwe Conversations. But now he feels a need to address he being CS2 Back. This is going to be nasty work. Nothing he can say can change the fact that he's going to be CS2 Back. Nothing. The phone call where it says CS2 Back, I didn't put it there. Greg Caden is the lead investigator in the Biggie and Tupac murder and the lead who organized the joint task force and federalized all of those officers. He wasn't the lead of the Main Street case, but the Main Street case was also being investigated by the joint task force. And he told Scandalous Los Angeles TV, doesn't the paperwork say CS2 Back? Because Scandalous called it CS2 WACK, right? So this police officer has read the work. This deputized federal agent who was an LAPD officer and the head of the joint task force, Biggie Tupac murder investigation. And he's saying that the wiretap between the call with CS2 Back and Money Mark Stevens, then Money Mark Stevens trying to click over, see if it's cool to give CS2 Back Del Dog phone number. And Del Dog said, no, I'm cool. I'm cool on that brother. That call says CS2 Back. And Greg Caden, Detective Greg Caden, then admits that that's WACK100 on the phone. So Money Mark Stevens isn't CS2 Back. They say his name on that wiretap. Calling Del Dog. Del Dog isn't CS2 Back because he's on the phone calling. They say his name. Stutterbox isn't CS2 Back because CS2 Back is telling Mark Stevens he want to tell Del Dog that Stutterbox went sour and that the phones is compromised. So Stutterbox went foul on CS2 Back. WACK100 admits, I'm the one that got told on, right? So on top of that, the detective said that was WACK100 on that call. But unlike the Crip cop, unlike CS2 Back and the debriefers, we don't go by the police word. So we did more investigation than just the police words. We went and interviewed the guy who got the call for CS2 Back. Money Mark Stevens. Money Mark Stevens began telling us that was WACK100. He don't know no Back. I think we got to go through that, bro. We really got to go through that. I didn't want to do it, but y'all made me do it. Money Mark Stevens. I don't know no Back. And the lawyer said, nah, that's WACK. But they call him Back because he's a blood. Now, maybe his lawyers just assumed that was why they called him Back, because he was a blood. But one thing for sure, two things for certain, we know for a fact that the lawyers also said that WACK100 was Back. Who cares on how they figured out that why they called him Back? Who cares about that? The point is that they're calling him Back in confidential source number 2. Why are they calling you confidential source in the paperwork on the Main Street Crips? So we're gonna get straight to the content, and we're gonna let y'all tell you. And mind you, not only did he say that was WACK on that wiretap, he's saying that wiretap was the first initial phone call in all of the wiretaps paperwork. This is some nasty work. That means WACK100 purposely contacted Money Mark Stevens to get in contact with Del Dog so he could get him talking on the phone about some shit with Stutterbox that he shouldn't be talking about. And mind you, WACK knew Del Dog didn't like him anyway. They oppositions. So he tried to line them up. Let's get into it.
Okay. So where we was at, okay. So at some point you get a phone call from WACK100, Cash Jones. And when he contact you, what did he contact you concerning?
He wanted to reach out to Del Dog, rest in peace. And he wanted to give Del Dog some information that he had gotten from Stutterbox, right? It's like he was getting information from Stutterbox on what his plan was and what the get down was gonna be. And he wanted to talk to the homie and talk to him. And Dog wasn't getting on the line with him. And he kept blowing me up because he wanted me to get him on the line.
Smart man. Rest in peace to Del Dog, man. So he's talking about the phones is being compromised. Is that one of the things that he told you?
Well, the homie Del Dog never trusted dude. You follow me?
Right.
So Dog didn't know was the lines compromised or was they wired up for sound or not. He just wasn't gonna chance it. You follow me?
Right.
Hey, real quick, that's a good point. We got a $2 super chat. Jakari Moore, $2 super chat. Salute to you, King. Everything donated to the DAMU Kiwe Conversations is appreciated. He said, Rat100 records all calls, but not the Bailbondsman. Bro, you gonna force him to go get somebody to play the Bailbondsman that remembers him. Oh, this is gonna be good. But that'll be good content. Good looking out again, though, brother. Let's go.
But it was later on. It was later on after they took the case to they was taking it all away because the homie ain't had no choice. You know, he was facing a life sentence, so he had to take it all away. And with all the lawyers that was involved, they was able to get the discovery, and that's when we found out that the lines was compromised.
And as soon when you get the discovery, was part of that the actual wiretaps? The
whole transcript. I got the whole transcripts. The whole transcripts of the whole wiretaps.
And do you, in that paperwork, do you see your conversation with Cash Jones in them transcripts?
That was the initiating. That was the initiating when they started recording.
that was the initiating phone call when the wiretap started. So wait till we get to the paperwork. Then we're going to get to the day WACK House was raided. This is months after they raided WACK House that he calls Mark Stevens, and now Mark Stevens is on the wiretap, the initial wiretap. So it definitely wasn't immediate, man, I just got out, the nigga told on me. No, they told him what he had to do, and he tried to line him up.
Right. Right. And how did they refer to Cash Young?
In the paperwork they put him as Back, BACK. And
correct.
I kept asking the lawyer, like, who the fuck is, I ain't talked to no Back. And they said, nah, that's WACK. But they put him as Back because he a blood. So it's Back. And I said, oh, okay.
And was this Back also referred as confidential source number 2?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Well, man, I'm glad that the truth was able to come out. And it's sad.
But bigger than that, homie, right? I watched dude, man. He said some things about the big homie Shaq, that wasn't true. He said some things like he been trying to destroy the big homie Big U name, and I'm seeing and watching this. And I called the big homie U. We was talking. I said, yo, when you get into Atlanta, man, come see me. Because I had what I had for years. And when I gave it to the homie, I said, man, you read it. Because it was a big-ass textbook of shit. And the homie just sided with what was right. He said, I can't fuck with dude no more. And that was the end of that.
Until WACK started attacking, and that's when WACK started attacking him with false allegations and all of this online weird shit, right?
Correct, because the homie Big U asked me why I didn't fuck with the nigga, and I said, when you pull up, I'm gonna show you. I want you to read it. And when he read it, he was like, oh, okay, I see why you don't fuck with the nigga. I can't fuck with the nigga. And that was it.
Wait, how long was it from when you first got it that you met you in Atlanta to show him the work?
I got the paperwork from the attorneys probably in, I want to say 12 or 13, because it was a series of, remember the incident happened in 06, 07, but Box had went to prison. He called a drug case, so he went to prison, and they waited to almost the last month of the statute of limitations to go get the homies from Main Street. Right. So it had been about a 5-year period from the time that had happened to the time that they came and got the big homies. And then once how
did you feel about you waiting that long now?
Well, he chastised me, and I never, one of the things, bro, and it's like it's the slippery slope, as people say, right? Like on one end, WACK, the nigga, he wasn't doing no harm, right? He was just trying to move around and be the tough guy. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is, okay, that's what you want to do, cool. But then it went from that to, I heard what he was saying about the big homie Shaq, and then I heard what he said about Big U, and that's when I picked up the phone. I said, hey, you, man, I want you to read something, man. And then once you read it, once you know, you know. That's Quran. That's the Holy Quran. Once you know, you're accountable for what you know. And when he read it, he said, okay, I see why you don't fuck with dude. I can't fuck with dude. And that was it. Let me tell you something, man. I probably haven't seen nor talked to WACK in years, you know, and
credibility gone.
You know, I wish everybody success and happiness, but not on the basis of lies.
Right.
You know,
and
not on the
and it's really indicative of your character, Mark, because you have a
real quick. We got a super chat. Iceman Vamp with the $5 super chat. Yeah. Pardon me. We got a $5 super chat, sir. We can't hear you, bro. He having technical difficulties. Pardon us. Iceman Vamp with the $5 super chat. And why? In all of these years, don't we have a recording of Wiretap WACK calling and confronting Mark Stevens about being CS2? Because if he recorded that, the world would hear him telling them, hey, listen, WACK, I'm a Muslim. I'm not going to do nothing to you, but you know what you did. The paperwork don't lie. The lawyers don't lie. I'm not going to lie on you, brother. Go ahead and do your thing, but stop lying on Shaq, stop lying on me, and stop lying on Dog. You did what you did. You got to live with that. But I've already forgiven you. Get on about your way and keep on going. That's why you got cut off. And that's what's going to happen. Let's finish hearing our money, Mark, man.
A whole campaign publicly of a brother that's heavy in our community positively, helping get these kids graduated from school and into football and all of these other positive things. And he's smutting his name through the mud just because he decided not to deal with it.
And brother, well put. Look, I call the homie Big U all the time. I call him the naked truth. And he always be like, why you call me the naked truth? I said, because WACK is the well-dressed lie. You know, it's an old parable about truth and lie when swimming. And, you know, lie jumped out the water and put on truth clothes. So you had a well-dressed lie, but then truth got out the water and it was naked. So you got the naked truth that's trying to run down a well-dressed lie. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, you know, it is what it is with the homie.
Well, yeah, man. Well, I know you a businessman and you stay on positive shit, man. I'm sorry that we had to even delve into these negative accusations that got a lot of people, good people named caught up in it. But we needed to get the truth where truth appears, falsehood disappears, man. And I wanted to hear that for myself, man.
Man, hey, man, I appreciate you, man. And, you know, God bless. But like I said, man, you know, it's a lot of things is just a well-dressed lie. That's all I can say.
Right. And that's what Cass Jones is. He is the well-dressed lie.
Right.
Yeah, and Big U's the naked truth. You know, it is what it is. He always stood on the side of truth. He ain't never wavered from that. From the time I gave him that paperwork, I watched him take assault after assault because he just did the right thing. He just said, I can't fuck with you.
And I'm so glad that he ain't responded publicly to these negative lies because he's above that shit. Let him stay low and you just stay high. Don't let this man trick you up off the street or the feeling like you got to address every lie he makes up every day.
Well, and then you got to understand too, bro, it's, you know, like I told you about throwing a rock and hiding your hand. You know, what's the motive for throwing the rock to begin with? Like, we know the rocks is being thrown, but what's the motive? Like, you know, like, only thing I saw the homie Big U do, put out a great documentary on hip hop. I see him, man, putting these kids through college and sending them like I'm trying to understand what's the motive, or it's a motive that we can't comprehend because we don't think on those levels. You feel?
Or is it a motive that we don't comprehend because we don't think along those lines?
Damn. That's hey, because we don't think like that. We're not thinking to try to set nobody up on a damn wiretap. We don't got those type of motives. But this nigga do. And he shows himself every time. The chat, bro, dudes, when I'm reading the chat and I'm listening and I'm seeing when they saying stuff that just like it makes all the sense. Why this nigga don't he record everything else, but he ain't record him talking to the Bailbondsman.
Right.
He ain't record none of that. Wiretaps come out with Mark Stevens and them. He don't know nothing about. He don't know who the CS2 Back character is. He don't know he was trying to get on the 3-way with Del Dog. He don't know nothing. He's a lower level drug dealer. That was not even mentioned. And he's spinning the narrative and they falling for it. Because as soon as he talk and he starts spinning, they heads go woo, 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 and all them goofy ass niggas start looking like straight goofball. Hey, y'all, hey, listen, I'm gonna spin this way first. This how he do it. First, it goes this way. First, I went down to the 64th floor. Then the floor elevator, boom, 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 boom. And then when it elevated, I got off the elevator and elevated to the next elevated level of the next level of the highest level of being up there at the Wilshire building. And then the building started to move. You mean the movement of the flap jackets was flap. And then the flapping of the jackets, I seen the bitch. And when the bitch came through, like, bro, this nigga started spinning. And niggas be like, man, Wack, oh, man, you right. Oh, he right. The flap jacket did go. Like, nigga. Niggas don't even Google how many floors the Wilshire building got. Niggas don't even Google how the place ain't even open on a Sunday. Like, y'all just listening to this nigga because he got all the tapes. He got
tapes on all the motherfuckers on the 100 side.
Man, he done convinced them niggas to play with themselves, and he recording all of them, male and female. And he got it
on Vlad right now, telling on loose. Dude continues to be involved in federal investigation. I've never seen anyone other than Ratful be that involved in indictments. Yeah. Suge indictment also. The Biggie Tupac murder investigation. He said he came in on that side. That's on Bond First. We'll get to that right now. Let's get active with them lights. That's why I don't think he's that smart. It's just real niggas don't think like him. He ain't recorded those court hearings ass game. Mike B, what up? Hashtag wiretap whack in the chat. Right now, I play mommy and daddy role. Unfortunately, beautiful black lady. Wack isn't happy with the person he is. Hey, bro, you preach it to the choir. I've been realized that, bro. That's why he's so insecure. He need constant reassurance. He need dick pullers and yes men around him 24/7 because he's so insecure. Now you think you getting girls now because of your looks? Negro, please. He doesn't like the reflection he sees in the mirror staring back at him. He definitely don't. Sean Hines say, y'all a fool. Skull Doug 78. Y'all know anything about 600 talking about? Said he went down with him and Big U's people at the court earlier. Man, that nigga is seeking some clout, bro. And I hope that nobody didn't do nothing to that nigga at that court building because they going to jail. Nigga, if that nigga like that, why you ain't pulled up in his hood with all them issues them niggas say they got for his rat ass? The motherfucking Crip cop would do a PC move and go up to the court and try to get into it with some people there with the U.S. Marshals in control of the building. That nigga's a bitch if he did some shit like that. I pray nobody didn't get off on that nigga, man. Them niggas in jail if they got off on that nigga. That's exactly how they be on Clubhouse when WACK is talking. Mike B says CS2 Back is done. Nobody will do business with him again. The blackmailing, turning on his friends. You think they will still do business with him? I doubt it. Man, these niggas so dumb. They believe he's still a millionaire, but he living in a 2-bedroom apartment that's R&B. Or is it a 1-bedroom out in Summerlin, Nevada? Summerlin is like the Ladera Heights of Vegas. You got Henderson and you got Summerlin. You know what I'm saying? Lou 100 plus his arrogance stops him regulating the blunders that show the rest of us how shady he is. That tells me all I need to know. Hashtag wiretap WACK. Seems like people like the lies more since they bring a drama. You 100% right, Nina 13. You know what I'm saying? What they say, the lie always sound better than the truth. You know what I'm saying? Big U wasn't lying about WACK wanted his contract. Yeah, we got WACK saying it. I got the clip. WACK probably got a tape of Beast scraping his uncle's pit bull, holding it over his head. Came out with a new wiretap station on Clubhouse and everything. Revolutionized the fuzz with social media. Cold rat. I never wanted to see someone get marked out at 600. Man, that nigga 600 is not going on the other side of fucking Wilshire. He has to know it's a rap for him after this trial. He'll be a man without a country. He think nobody fucks with him now. He gonna have to go into exile. Yeah, definitely will. I think 600 new hair fiber optics to scan for whispers for mile-like satellite dishes. Salute everybody. CS2 Pork Back is in borrowed time. He will be fully exposed by the end of the year. That chump ain't no music boss like he portrays. No, that's a fact. You know he ain't. I know he ain't. We eye to eye on that, brother. All right, salute. Let's get into the police saying that that's who that was. Come on, let's get into it. Come on.
Tell us all that stuff. I feel I should be able to ask some questions so the people can be informed. So again, this has nothing to do with you. This is about WACK.
Yeah, I get it. No, and again, I'm not trying to get in the middle of whatever bullshit is going on between WACK and whatever bullshit's going on with Starbucks. I don't give a fuck about that beef. Whatever it is, they'll figure it out. I'm just going to tell you investigatively, we would have listed WACK, Cash Jones, in our paperwork. He would have been like target 1, and his phone would have been target 1. And so when we were looking at him, we used particular language in our paperwork. Really so if we're writing the wiretap affidavit for his phone, we would say Cash Jones, also known as WACK. You were utilizing target number, whatever, which would be his phone. I think it was some 661 phone number. And that's just the language. Nowhere within the paperwork related to the investigation of Cash Jones, was he ever mentioned as a CS or an informant? Because he wasn't.
Okay. Now, Greg, we're talking about the case Studdabox had against Shaquille O'Neal and the 7 Main Street Crips. When WACK brought you on Clubhouse, he asked you what would he have been referred to as in the paperwork.
And then in your paperwork, I don't know. How was I referred to? Was I referred to WACK, Cash Jones? They have this Back name. I don't know who the fuck Back is. I don't know. I know I've never had that moniker, but I don't know. Maybe it was some coded shit. Or how did you recall referring to me through all the paperwork when you guys were like listening in on my wiretaps? So like saying, okay, this is WACK, this is Cash Jones on the wiretap. What was I referred to in your, because I've never looked over that paperwork, never had a need to. What was I referred to?
If WACK had nothing to do with Del Dog, Shaq, or any of the Main Street Crips, Why would his name be being referred to in the paperwork at all?
So again, this is completely different investigation. We have to be real careful that we don't cross over these ideas, because when I said he would have been mentioned in the paperwork, if we're talking about Cash Jones's case, then we may have mentioned a CS, which would have been Stutterbox, saying these things about Cash that we investigated. There's that. Now, if Cash is asking me if his name was in the Main Street case, no, it wasn't. Now, if Cash is asking me if his name was in the Main Street case, no, it wasn't.
So we all know that Greg is not being truthful when he says that. We can clearly see WAC's government name, Cash Jones, all in this case. Hey, Christopher Loves Boys, this shows you why you can't believe everything the police say. This also shows you that the...
Let me blow this up for y'all, so y'all can see Cash Jones' name in all of the in this whole paperwork. Hold on, let me see if I can blow. I can't do it, but I'll read something to you. Got a phone call from Ross's brother and recording artist Ray J, telling him that Ross had been beaten up. Mark Stevens later said, this is what Mark Stevens told the police. He received calls from Ross's brother, which is Stutterbox brother, and Cash Jones. Stevens claimed no knowledge of a kidnapping, right? Then at the bottom, where it's underlined, it said within the next couple of months, Stevens received a voicemail message from Ross stating, I need to talk to you, man. The big fella, he's slipping. He's making a lot of mistakes. Soon after, Steven received a call from Cash Jones, told him that Ross had a videotape of Shaquille O'Neal having sex with a woman, not his wife, at Ross's home, and that Ross could take the tape to TMZ and get a lot of money. Sound familiar? Yeah. So why is Greg Caton on here lying, saying that WACK100 name, Cash Jones, was nowhere in the Main Street paperwork? This is the investigation of Deja 34 and the Main Street Crips alleged kidnapping of Stutterbox, Robert Ross. Google it. Robert Ross, Shaquille O'Neal. And you're going to see all kind of newspaper clippings. This was big. Shock attack. You know what I'm saying? These is the headline. TMZ ran the lawsuit later on. But the actual sheriff's report that the Joint Task Force put together has Cash Jones' name throughout the paperwork as attempting to extort Shaquille O'Neal and Money Mark Stevens with a sex tape. I got the tape. Paru, De La Hoya paid me $800,000.
Police are protecting WAC, as they would any other confidential informant that's in good standing with them, unlike Stutterbox. But I want you to hear what Greg says right after he said WAC was not in the Main Street case at all.
There was no mention of Cash in the Main Street case. There was no mention of Cash in the Main Street case, other than when he's trying to get a hold of Mark Stevens and in order to tell him that Box has been compromised.
Yeah, and that's what the wiretap transcript said CS2 Back, or WAC, was calling Del Dog to do. Not Del Dog, but Mark Stevens.
See what you just did, though?
Yeah, I said Del Dog.
You said CS2 WAC. It doesn't say that, does it?
Yes, it does.
Doesn't it say CS2 Back?
Yes, it says CS2 Back.
Okay, well, you know what you just said?
What did I say?
CS2 WAC.
So they both agree, Scanless and Greg Caton, that the wiretap, when he tried to call Mark Stevens, WACK100 tries to call Mark Stevens to tell him that Stutterbox went foul, that's why, and that it says CS2 Back, not CS2 WAC. This is what Greg Caton and Scanless agreed to.
Back.
I meant CS2 Back.
Because in your mind, and bear with me, no offense here, but I think you've already come to the conclusion that Back is whack, and that's why that's such an easy mistake to make.
Well, the reason I think WACK is CS2 Back is because that's who Mark Stevens said he was talking to.
Well, nobody's disputing that. Nobody's disputing that Mark Stevens is saying that WACK is who he was talking to.
But he's saying that that's Back. He is saying that Back is WACK.
How does Mark Stevens put that together? Show me how Mark Stevens has anything to substantiate that Back is WACK.
In the paperwork they put him as Back, B-A-C-K. And I kept asking the lawyer, like, who the fuck is? I ain't talked to no Back. And they said, nah, that's WACK. But they put him as Back because he a blood, so it's Back. I said, oh, okay.
And was this Back also referred as confidential source number 2?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so no offense to Mark, he doesn't know any better. But when we're writing official police reports, we don't play the game. We don't change language or change spelling because we are, part of the gang culture. We're not going to put WACK. We're going to put Back because he's a blood, not a Crip, and we don't. That's not how we operate. We don't. That's gang shit. We don't.
See, Greg Caden is a master splinter and spinner, right? He done made the conversation about why they called it Back instead of WACK. We don't give a fuck why you called it WACK instead of Back. Okay, Mark Stevens' lawyers could have just assumed that was the reason why they called WACK Back, but you're not contesting that the person on that call is WACK, and they're calling that person Back. They're calling them confidential source 2. You're not arguing against that part. You're arguing about how did he get and figure that part out.
Write as gangsters. We write as police officers and try to be as specific as possible.
Greg is saying they try to be as specific as possible, and that they don't do things like that. But we're all looking at a wiretap transcript where they did exactly that. They put a person named Back in the paperwork, and no one knows who Back is.
We don't change things in order to... So if Mark Stevens is thinking that, oh man, the cops just put this in there this way because he's a blood and not a Crip, it's not how it works.
I hear you, Greg. But even without them doing that, the conversation with Mark Stevens and Del Dog did actually take place. And Mark Stevens is saying the person who called him looking for Del Dog's phone number was WACK. Mark said he doesn't know anyone named Back. So why would they put some fake person that Mark has never ever talked to in the transcripts?
No, I get that. See, we are totally in agreement. The conversation is WACK, obviously. The conversation is WACK, obviously.
The conversation is WACK, obviously. The conversation. So you did all this arguing about how Money Mark Stevens figured out that was WACK, but you never denied that it was WACK. In fact, you admit that they're talking about WACK. So let's get to the content. We're gonna get to the content, and that's gonna be the paperwork. Because WACK said he needs the Main Street paperwork. We gotta hit that like button if you're just coming in. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button if you're just coming in. 3-finger booty goblin. Shout out Stan on the media, man. His original confidential informant name was CS2 Back Stabber. That could be the reason why. Who cares, though? As long as we know that that's who they're talking about on this wiretap, because we're finna get to the wiretap, right? Who cares? Who cares why the pigs made it the name that they did? It's a code name. We get it. So, because they don't want it, and can't, they don't want to expose the 137 confidential source. We get it. right? So let's go like this. The Armenian 2023 probably said, okay, let's get to the paperwork real quick. And then once we get to the wiretap, matter of fact, we don't even gotta pull it up. I got somebody. I already got them talking about it, man. Let's go like this. WACK100 CS2 Back. That's all you got to do is pull that up. Let me see if I can find my boy CCTV, man. You know what I'm saying? CCTV got the old school Clubhouse classic, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, he got the Clubhouse classic where I said paperwork party on Clubhouse, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Nigga really ran the work. And you know how many people didn't believe me? More than half of Clubhouse, half the people on the internet. You know what I'm saying? It's nasty work, but we finna get to it. Damn, CCTV. Damn, we got, bro, it's all over the damn internet. I'm seeing everybody else shit, but I want to go to the OG one. You know what I'm saying? That was on Clubhouse. You know what I'm saying? WACK100 exposes CS2 Back in paperwork, bro. This shit is all over the internet. It's hard to find it. Sorry, CCTV. I might be faster just rereading all of the paperwork than finding this. You know what I'm saying? Let me go to CCTV. CCTV. Maybe that'll bring it up closer or faster. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, bro. Yeah, you can hear us?
You know it.
Okay, yeah, because we couldn't hear you when you was reading the super chat, brother. And we was a little bit worried about you. The chat was helping you. You had I'm gonna call
Hey,
you.
yeah, man, your internet's trash, Obama.
Oh yeah. Oh no, we weren't even clowning you, brother. You know what I'm saying?
The fact that the fact that he think that you changed the paperwork and put his name in the paperwork is crazy.
Okay, here we go. Boom. I found CCTV. Bam. Video. Bam. And he got a lot of work. Damn, he got a gang of old school Clubhouse shit. Y'all wasn't on Clubhouse at this time, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
How long ago was that?
Bro, I'm finna tell you right now, it might have been 3 years, bro.
I was on Clubhouse.
Bro, you wasn't on Clubhouse because you would have been in that room when I broke down the paperwork. Was you in the room?
Bro, I probably had to be.
No, it said 2 years ago. It said 2 years ago. Oh, that's why it wasn't popping up. Damn, I wasn't subscribed to CCTV. I'm out of pocket, bro. But we got to hit that like button, man. We finna get to the content. Held by Active Chuck CEO Deuce Sims. The date that we released this, it says 2 years. It was August 30th, 2022.
Yeah, I was on Clubhouse.
2023, 2024, and August 30th, it'll be 3 years, bro, that we exposed this paperwork. So let's get to the content, man. ODM Slim was on there.
Right. WACK100 only got to know that all day long say he gave a nigga 10,000, 12,000, 20,000, 30,000, and they all crip niggas for what? Extortion. Remember that.
Right. So the nigga Wack, he told me I'll read that on another show where we finna make rounds with this shit. So y'all gonna see us on all the shows. This shit is legit. Hit that link up top. Check out the confidential source number 2
a.k.a. Back, a.k.a. WACK100. He was the one calling the Main Street Style dude, trying to get in contact with Del Dog. I didn't want to say his name. Saying that Stutterbox told him, right? Well, this nigga Del Dog was smarter than the average Joe. See, some niggas really hashtag thinkers. You know what? Make sure y'all put that up, hashtag thinkers. But that nigga was a hashtag thinker, man. God bless his soul. Del Dog, rest in peace now, Main Street Mafia Crip. You know what I'm saying? He was a reputable dude out on the West Coast. When Wack asked for the number, he refused. He told the homie, nah. Nigga, this nigga been on the phone with him, nigga. That's how I met him through that nigga. So, nigga, if that nigga went bad, the only way you know that nigga went bad because, nigga, the nigga went bad on you. The only way you know the phones is tapped and compromised, nigga, is because you got knocked by the police. So how is you out? Why is you trying to talk to me? That nigga Del Dog was a thinker, nigga. He outsmarted that retarded ass little boy, man. Crater face, use a snitch. Pull up Newport. Pull up Hot Girl.
I just take the request.
What up?
What up, Hot Girl?
What
we got this bitch ass nigga. Paperwork party on club. Hey, Mike B, bro, you don't know how that feel, bro. But obviously you do. He said half the internet that didn't believe you. But now I'm talking about CS2 Back like they knew it all along. Shaking my head. Shit is crazy. Yeah, bro. My nigga, y'all believe me. He rolled with me. You know Clubhouse, nigga. That's all I needed. Money and Big Mess. Nigga, come to Blood Alley, you bitch ass, rat ass nigga. You know, that's how we getting at your bitch ass. Nigga, you been working. So I will use, and I'm gonna break this shit down. A lot of y'all ain't been on here that long, right? When I first got on this shit, it was to stand against WACK100. You know what I'm saying? He interviewed this rat nigga. So some New York blood niggas, hey, we need to stand in solidarity. These kids shouldn't be learning that it's cool to do business with and fuck with rats, right? I'm with that. Unification, all of that shit. So cloud chasing ass War Brim ended up wanting to do business with him, and Corey King also. They want to continue to do business with her. I'm like, listen, I'm not stepping on y'all chucks. I don't want to do business with that dude. I don't like how he moved. I don't know niggas from where I come from that want to hang with and chill and argue on a podcast face to face with a rat. You different. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave you where you at. I don't want no problems with you though. I just did 10 years, 8 years, nigga, 5 years, 6 months. I'm trying to stay out. Being tough and being gangster, I know where that's gonna get a nigga. You know what I'm saying? In jail or up in one of them shoe programs, right? That's where you end up, or the smooth program if you in the Fed. So I'm not trying to have no problems. I'm gonna keep it cold. Hey, that's a fact, bro. I don't look for problems, but when they come my way, I embrace them. You know what I'm saying? We don't turn down nothing but our college. Kid the Barber, Scandalous is cooking on the plantation right now a beef stew on the academics where he talking about he seen Scandalous video. That nigga Scandalous, hey, them niggas, hey, they hate Scandalous. I told y'all niggas Scandalous is the GOAT. I was the first one that told y'all, bro. That's my brother. When this was going on, I was by myself. I had Yael. He don't run no YouTube. I didn't even run no YouTube at the time. Didn't know how. I figured it out. Messi Moore don't know how to do it. Bomani don't know how to do it, right? But them is my brothers. When y'all hear DAMU Kiwe Conversations, it's not just me and Yael. You know what I'm saying? It's a handful of solid brothers behind us. Big U, Pop LQ, Tiny Draws. all of them brothers together make up what we got going on. But when it comes to the content, Scandalous Los Angeles is the GOAT. And I told niggas, man, that nigga's the GOAT. That nigga like dissect that shit like a doctor, a surgeon, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But y'all be looking up for that most Scandalous Los Angeles TV video because it's coming.
Open static. That was my relationship with WACK100. The bitch ass nigga ran the make on me in the 6 Deuce brands. I'm originally from Fruittown brand. Nigga, I'm Lamonte on here. I didn't come on Duke Sims. I'm Lamonte. But he run the make on me. He run the make on me. A Duke Sims pass with flying colors and this and that. Like, I got a newfound respect after that. The nigga kept trying to fuck with me. Nigga, the fights, I got the pay-per-view shit. What I need him for? I'm trying to cut him out that play. So he make it seem as if nigga was trying to do business with him because y'all don't know that I'm really out here working and I got all kind of other connections. But in any event, the nigga was in Great Street business. I'm like, bro, that's a keyway. Like, unless you want to start a war, and everybody I know in the hood is trying to get to where you at to have millions to change their family lives, right? Their loved ones around. But you seem like you more attracted to and magnetized to the drama, to getting shit started. So Stats 280 and what's it, Doodles from Grape Street confronted WACK100 the same day I called them out for the fade. Like, bro, you got all of these niggas from different hoods. Like, we really in the trenches. Like, you go right.
Damn word.
Thank you. But we ain't in the trenches. Shout out to the trenches. I wasn't saying we really is in the community where a nigga could take it a certain way and start a gang war. Why would you try to provoke that? Right? Then you get into now I got paperwork on Duke Sin. Who would say that you got paperwork on the nigga that been in jail all his life that could have had all of LA locked up because I really was out there that heavy? You know what I'm saying? So niggas in them circles, you really know what's going on. But that's just not in my genetic makeup, nigga. So I don't fuck with them type of niggas. That don't mean I think we should knock them all down. I don't think we should do violence. I'm not advocating none of that shit. But I don't want to fuck with you.
Hey,
so I wanted to fade. From there, he went to, I got paperwork on Duke Sim. All the homo stuff. I don't give a fuck about that. I wouldn't even want it to fade. But to put that jacket on the nigga when I'll be in South Central tomorrow, nigga, I gotta walk them 30s, the 50s, the 40s, Gardena, Hawthorne. Nigga, I'm really a public figure. Nigga, I'm not no PC case, special need yard ass nigga. So when you did that, it wasn't no going back. I would have left your bitch ass to your trolling. Cause you're nothing but a troll. You're not respected in your hood. Nigga, you didn't even show up to the general funeral yesterday. But thank God you didn't, because we ain't trying to advocate for no other brothers going to jail, because you ain't gonna do nothing but tell anyway, nigga. Confidential source number 2, aka Back, aka WACK100. The paperwork's on the link up top. Y'all can check that out. Tell me what y'all think, though.
Salute to the room. What's up, everybody?
Real DAMU love.
Salute. Yeah, this real DAMU love, man. We ain't trying to push hate. Even Kiwe's welcome in this motherfucker. We just keep it respect.
Oh, and to the dick suckers that want to say that UOD started the DAMU Kiwe conversation. I started UOD, dumbass niggas. After that, we started the real DAMU love. And I'll let Yael tell you what happened to the real DAMU love room real quick. Real quick, y'all, before I start breaking down the paperwork. Can you tell them what happened to the real DAMU love room? Yeah.
Yeah, it was converted over to the DAMU Kiwe Conversations room.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure that you remember what happened, and that's where y'all at now. Them other guys, I don't even remember their name. Let's go.
You understand what I'm saying? So for when you get these nigga that trying to provoke that type of shit, nigga, you ain't on the front line, so you already in violation. And why would you want to be in another hood's business? If it's a public topic, it's a public topic. But you get to spitting niggas' names, their real names, and their sex, and like my nigga. But that ain't my nigga, and he ain't for our community. So for all the kids who think that it's cool to be 6'9" or WACK100 and cooperate, I equate them same type of niggas to Judas. Nigga, the William O'Neill counterintelligence program, COINTELPRO. Nigga, that's what type of nigga you looking up to. Disgrace, nigga. We Fred Hamptons around here, Jeff Ford, Larry Hoovers. Yeah. Tookie Williams, Big Angel, Tony Lucius. Real legends, man, that really walked and lived that life without compromising their integrity. How you gonna tell your son to grow up to his full potential and stand as a man without teaching him responsibility, accountability? Nigga, you take your beat for what you did. Nigga, don't put nobody else's name in for what you did. Nigga, what kind of a father is you? That's why I stood against WACK100, bitch ass. And if you wouldn't have did that fake ass, disrespectful ass, I got paperwork on Deuce him. On my mama, I got too much to be even worried about that nigga. Too much, nigga. Lawsuits after lawsuits and all kind of shit. Nigga, we getting to the bag. Dead on. Documentary coming, March Madness. For anybody in the Vegas area, come out tomorrow. Back to School Supply Drive. Active Chucks on September 3rd. We'll be out there all week. So pull up. If you haven't seen the paperwork, go ahead and check that thing out. Share it on your social.
Hey, y'all, wait a minute. So Deuce Sims released the CS2 Back paperwork,
right?
Then pulled up and did a back-to-school supply drive in Las Vegas. Don't WACK live in Las Vegas?
Yeah, he was living out there then.
And the nigga was out there public, and he didn't pull up?
Nah, he couldn't pull up.
Okay.
Well, he could have. He just chose not to.
Right. Let's go.
Social media. Hopefully, some of these kids, you know, WACK100, Tekashi 69, they got budgets and money where they can move around to different houses and hide out in different countries and all of that shit. These kids that they teaching that's cool can't do that.
What up, you Sherm head?
Iced out. You got Stacks 280 on your shit. If you don't take that nigga off, you getting goofed, bitch ass nigga.
Real DAMU love.
You win real DAMU love, baby.
Frutas. Real talk. Hold up, Mama Lisa in the what you call it? Pull up Mama Lisa.
Pretty good.
Oh, we got her, Mama Lisa.
Pretty good.
Got her, Mama Lisa.
I'm free and everything.
Free to go. Free to go.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Mama Lisa.
Hey, Mama
Randall,
Lisa.
what up, fool? Salute.
What's up, brother? What's going on?
Oh, hey, shout out to Death of the Cloud Chasers. They in the motherfucking building though. Hey, hi girl.
Yo.
Hey, Deuce. You done this one, boy. You done did
that paperwork, remember to cite our source, activechucks.com. That paperwork was a gift from heaven that just fell in our lap. You know what I'm saying?
You said free to go. Do you want Iced Out to come upstairs?
Nah, fuck hell nah. That nigga got stats 280 on his PTR. We ain't rocking that shit.
Shout out PTK, bring him on.
Hey, PTK been acting real weird. Y'all niggas doing some obsessive.
Yo, my nigga, yo, you gotta chill with that weird shit, my nigga. Y'all niggas
nah,
weird,
bro. Y'all following niggas around.
My nigga, ain't nobody following nobody, my nigga. Y'all niggas gotta chill with that shit, my nigga. That New York shit, bro, for real. Y'all gotta
Hey,
stand
y'all, I got something to say though, real fast.
Shit
Look.
awkward, bro. You making niggas
One mic on her, girl. One mic on her.
Wait, let me put my big mic on. Hold up here.
You got the big mic?
Now let's motherfucking go. Now I got one thing to say today. Everybody, welcome to Real DAMU Love. If you haven't followed the house, scroll up there to the top. Y'all see the green house at the top, the little Monopoly house where it say Real DAMU Love. Tag that house. Tap that thing. When you tap the house, join. If you haven't done so already, join the club. Now, everybody go down to the bottom and share the room. I see what is on right now. Everybody in here is allowed to share the room 3 times for show. If y'all looking at insights, I definitely do it every time. So share the room. Even the dog saying share the room. Hit that share sign. Share the room. Come on, y'all. Join in. Yep, thank y'all. We joining the motherfucking club and we sharing the motherfucking room and we getting back to the good conversation and the topics that we having right now. Chat lives matter. Y'all know I'm gonna be over there because I'm on break right now and it's lit time. My dogs have had their puppuccinos. I got my blunts. So let's get it. Let's go. Motherfucking WACK100 back. All right. The paperwork has surfaced. Click the link at the top. activechucks.com. Y'all see it right there at the top in the link. Click the link, read up, and let us know what you think. Turn up. Let's get it. Let's go. That's all I have to say. Am I loud? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
That's what I'm talking about. I got a big mic, man. I got my big mic. Thank you, Money. You welcome. Y'all got me fucked up.
We
ping up. Everybody hit that plus sign. Well, y'all know it ain't a plus sign no more. So hit the little share sign inside of there. Click on invite people. Some people don't know how to ping up. Click on invite people inside the share little box and just invite your whole network in here. Let them know we got we got what it's called. We got motherfucking content and we got motherfucking receipts. The receipts is in the motherfucking title. Let's get it. Let's go. They in the link. If you don't believe, click it yourself, read it yourself. And let's get it. Let's go. But invite your peoples, invite your folks. Whoever don't believe, let them know. Pull up and get the receipts they damn self. So let's get it. Let's go.
Hey, LS. Don't get quiet now, nigga.
Huh?
Don't get quiet now, nigga.
Oh no, I was listening, man. I was listening.
Wait. Did you get a chance to read though? I would rather you read than listen to me. Don't believe me.
I was doing both. I was listening and reading at the same time, man.
Yeah, bro. The nigga been working all along, bro. He trying to pull niggas into some bullshit, bro. All of that shit niggas going to remember. We like, why would he lie on the big homie and say the big homie went to his studio and he got it on camera? Well, show us the camera. Nigga, the big homie went out there. That nigga trying to get a big homie a case, bro. Why you think Messi Marv got off social media, homie? So shout out to the big homie Messi Marv.
We said fuck that,
and the real Pacoima Paru, rest in peace, baby Sam, the general. You know what I'm saying? Niggas buried him yesterday, and just out of the blue, nigga, the paperwork come out. That was a gift from heaven. You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers don't be fooled. Hopefully these kids that's in this community don't get their head knocked off thinking that this is acceptable. Shit. Even after Judas betrayed Jesus, the disciples stoned his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like nigga, you betrayed these. He probably was trying to set Del Dog up too. Why is you fresh out and you calling Del Dog. That nigga Del Dog was going for that shit. Said, no, don't give that nigga my number. That's what they doing. He telling you, nigga, that's what they doing. Nigga, these niggas is testifying from the grave that this nigga fake pussy ass, rat ass nigga. Damn.
Yo, do Sam, we got King Erna in the building. Shout out to King Erna.
Yeah, I just
Shout out
came
King
in.
Erna. Bring him.
I want to say a major honorable shout out to the room. But what I tell y'all about this cunt, huh? What I tell y'all about this cunt, huh?
Hey, talk your shit,
Rack
Arnold.
100. Hey, listen, we having a party tonight, man. Well, fuck this, man. It's a dishonorable party that's being thrown, and it's not in the party of honor. That rat been a rat. I knew it. Any man that gossip the way he do about people personal shit, he gets off the phone and talk about motherfuckers to tell. That cocksucker been a rat. I knew he was a rat. And I want his woman. Now I'm going straight at her. I'm going at, hey, baby, if you're here, what's her name? Kimberly. Hey, Kimberly. I'm around now, baby. You hear me? Now I can really be disrespectful to that cunt. He's a cunt.
Hey, Matrix said LS was taking orders from John T not to go at WACK was crazy. LS been a buster, though. You know what I'm saying? He always tried to hide up under a gangster. First, it was my little brother. Then Baby Stretch. So it makes sense. But I don't know if John T a gangster.
Oh, I feel good. It's a beautiful night. I love when one of these rats is exposed because these niggas follow him. And then, how about them cunts from my city that had that cunt as a friend? A rat, huh?
War Brim, Corey King. We can name some more. It's a whole bunch of them.
Hey, bring them on so I can snatch all their honor.
Gillian wallowing official.
No, I never said that. Now, come on now, quit it. I'm saying that the mistakes they made, you see, sometimes when you're trying to reach for fame, what can happen is you can make a lot of bad mistakes just trying to be down. I just saw a dishonorable video, and I'm going to have to snatch his honor by Styles P. And I understand what he's saying, but I don't understand why he want to say it out loud, knowing the people that he got. That man got on there, and I got a video that's in my DM right now where he's making up an excuse like it's okay to deal with rats in a business. Now, hold on for a second. I understand if I have no never mind or understanding, and I made him a decision, I dealt with a rat, and I didn't know he was a rat, cool. It didn't have nothing to do with the streets. But when it comes down to you having knowledge, why would you want to deal with business with a person that you cannot trust? Period. Who wants to do business with someone they can't trust? I don't.
Bottom feeder.
Bro, that's exactly. Hey, that's exactly why I didn't do business with that nigga, bro. Nigga, if you've been around, you know how actively he pursued me to try to fuck with him. And I can show my fucking back channels and my phone text. But I had that suspicion from the beginning. But you don't have no proof and you don't speak on that type of shit. Like, nigga really moving COINTELPRO.
That's why he be trying to get niggas to talk about they street shit on here so he can line them up.
Right.
I want to slap the shit out of him. I want to slap you.
I don't even think he worth you doing that time in the county jail because he gonna press charges.
Share the room.
I wonder if they're gonna press charges for me nailing his wife to the coffin like this.
Hey, I'm
Because
just
you don't press charges about that.
Hey, and what's the boy name from 6 so that was talking about he got some shiny shit in his wallet shoulder?
No.
Oh, you talking about Chinese draw?
I can't go.
No, it wasn't Tiny Draw. It was
Brick Baby.
I killed a few YouTubers
Brick
in
Baby.
big city.
Yeah, he said when he seen the park.
You must have been around because I killed a few. LA shot caller,
What the fuck was the shiny shit, man?
Right. Well, I ain't even really worried about that, but for all y'all Oh, niggas spoke up on New York rats. Niggas spoke up on our rats. Nigga, you need to expose all them motherfuckers. I'm not saying that y'all need to go knock them down. I'm not saying y'all need to beat them up, slice their face. I'm not telling you to do none of that. But I believe that the people who are in the streets need to know that this nigga's perpetrating fraud. He's not what he claimed to be, and that he's going to cooperate with them people when the heat come down. So if you choose to and your morals don't prevent you from wanting to deal with somebody like he said that you can't trust, then you need to be exposed if you rap. Everybody needs to be like, don't come later and be like, man, I remember they exposed the paperwork, but man, shit, he didn't tell on me. When he ain't got the chance, he had go fuck with that nigga. Give him the opportunity.
Hey, listen, I want him to book me in and cuff and stuff me for nailing his wife to the cross. You hear me? Because I'm going to get her because, see, I wasn't going all the way there. I wasn't even putting his business out there, but she honors me, man. Me and my brother, Honorable Ghost, we didn't talk a million times. She loves me, man. I got receipts to show it, but I ain't into exposing women. I'm going to take her from him. I'm going to Cali. How big in him said, I'm going back to Cali, and I'm going to get me Kimberly.
Yeah, let's share the room. Let's share the room. Let's share the room.
I seen them receipts with
Share
my
the
own
room.
eyes.
Hey, Ghost, man, what you get, Money Train, what y'all getting from that? I want to hear what y'all see.
Man, look, Deuce, this is
Let's
shit
talk
I've been
about
knowing.
it.
You know what I'm saying? This some shit I've been knowing. It's just the paperwork wasn't out there. Like,
whoa, dick sucking Ghost from Death of the Cloud Chaser. He's an exposer now, gentlemen and women. He said this is what he been knew, but he didn't have the paperwork. The paperwork didn't surface. They got an exposer over there, the Budweiser Toad with the weird typewriter eye, Bud White right? Nigga, this nigga said this is what he been knew, but he never seen the work. So now nigga get the work, and then this nigga go over there sucking whack dick and became an exposer. This nigga gotta be ratting. He been cool with that shit. Damn. Ghost is more than likely an agent, bro. This nigga's a rat. Just like that show 50 Cent had. Wasn't Ghost a rat on that show? He was telling us the whole time.
Like, when you from the streets, man, you can read shit like that, bro. Oh, how about the streets can tell what type of nigga we was dealing with, bro. Like, you could just tell what type of nigga this is, bro. This paperwork just is the validation so a motherfucker could stand on that shit. See, niggas don't like calling me personally, bro. I hate rats. But I don't call niggas rats if I ain't got no
sent
facts
T Money the
That's just something
paperwork.
I don't believe in doing. You feel what I'm saying?
He's still fucking with him. That's on
him.
him.
Rat lover and a nigga's acting like a rat. I say all type of shit like that, but I'm not gonna come out and say this nigga's a snitch, this nigga's on paperwork, this nigga's a rat. No, I'm not gonna do that. But you see it black and white, nigga, it gives you something to fucking stand on, bro. And any nigga or any bitch in this room that reads this paperwork and feels a different way, like they still want to deal with a motherfucker like that, they ain't valid. They ain't got no
Share the room,
they ain't got no integrity.
Wait.
They ain't got no ethical means of.
He said, and if a nigga want to stand with a nigga like that after the paperwork, what he say about them type of niggas? Bro, somebody clip this. This is coming from an exposer. Listen to Ghost. Hey.
How about the streets can tell what type of nigga we was dealing with, bro. Like, you could just tell what type of nigga this is, bro. This paperwork just is the validation so a motherfucker could stand on that shit. See, niggas don't like calling me personally, bro. I hate rats. But I don't call niggas rats if I ain't got no facts behind it, bro. That's just something I don't believe in doing. You feel what I'm saying? But if a nigga's a rat lover and a nigga's acting like a rat, I say all type of shit like that, but I'm not gonna come out and say this nigga's a snitch, this nigga's on paperwork, this nigga's a rat. No, I'm not gonna do that. But you see black and white, nigga, it gives you something to fucking stand on, bro. And any nigga or any bitch in this room that reads this paperwork and feels a different way, like they still want to deal with a motherfucker like that, they ain't valid. They ain't got no morals, they ain't got no integrity, they ain't got no ethical means of anything, bro.
Real DAMU.
They ain't right, bro. They is not right, bro. Damn, would have did it in the
that nigga said they ain't got no integrity, they ain't got no morals, they ain't right. If anybody in this room that read this paperwork, which includes him, still want to deal with that nigga, they don't got no integrity, ghost, no morals, ghost, and they ain't right, ghost. That nigga working.
That's crazy how y'all ended this.
Is that really your profile?
Hold on, let me check. Hold on.
That's
good.
It's me, blood.
Salute.
Dudes, what they do, bro?
I know I get clipped every week.
It's a paperwork party.
We all getting clipped after this paperwork party. That nigga Rat 100 telling on all you niggas. You niggas going to Pelican Bay shoot.
Pelican Bay shoot program. 23
and that nigga the paperwork. Hey, kid, check out that paperwork up there. That's what Tiny Draws was referring to. That the nigga was on the wiretap. See, them niggas is talking that he calling Dale Dog. Well, he calling the homie from Main Street trying to get Dale Dog number. Dale Dog to tell him, Stutterbox went bad. But Dale Dog was sharp enough to know, well, hold on, nigga, I met you through Stutterbox. And the only way you would know and you out here calling trying to look for my number is if, nigga, you know he went bad because he went bad on you.
Oh,
so
he's
how'd
in
you
the
get
standard
on
rat.
jail?
This guy's in the standard rat. He's a rat that's also a CI. He done got down. He's an agent now. Huh?
No, if you read the paperwork, when it goes down to confidential source number 2, it breaks down that he's previously provided. Let me read. I don't want to misquote. CCTV, come on up. Oh, you going viral with this one? Yeah, I know.
Real DAMU love.
Good looking though.
Yes, sir.
Hold on, let me go to the exact words because they specifically describe WACK100, aka Back, BAC, aka confidential source number 2. They say,
good looking, fam West.
Confidential source number 2 has provided reliable historical information concerning the Main Street Mafia and Crip organization. So probably some of them dudes that went to the pen on Del Dog case, he probably got down on them niggas too, because they specifically said information on the Main Street. Remember he said, I saved them niggas, all them niggas went home. Nigga, what?
All right, we're gonna get into the paperwork now. But that's when we first got it. I'll do it live. But I wanted y'all to remember when he did say that he saved the Main Street. Bo Monty, what's up? Shout out to Big Mess. Salute, homie. You already know what it is, bro. I just was talking about you, but you wasn't here. That's all right. We got your back when you ain't here. You know what I'm saying? We rapping for you when you ain't here, brother. You know what I'm saying? But that's all right, man. I know you've been up at that on the plantation working. Let's go to this bomb first interview with CS2 Back. This was trying to clean it up after I exposed the CS2 Back paperwork. Oh, but first he brought Greg Caden and Reggie Wright to the clubhouse. Let's get into this.
Can you talk about the situation that you have that's ongoing with Stutterbox. I know Greg is working on getting us the either audio or the.
Yeah, I talked to Reggie today. Yeah. He said he's been in talks with Greg. I guess Greg got some of the audio that Stutterbox was telling. 13. You know, it really not an ongoing thing because it's like I'm kind of like a victim, but I'm not. I survived it.
Victim.
But it just lets me know the route of the streets. Everybody in the streets knew that situation. Everybody in the streets watched that man go to CCB court on 7-8 of his homeboys.
We admit he
and
told.
Line him up and tell. I knew the inner workings of it because we was neighbors. So I knew when the car got shot up, I knew all that, what was going on. I just didn't know he had went to the police. I didn't know that I didn't know he was a working informant for the feds initially. And the feds, I believe, then referred him to LAPD, which was Greg Case. I was always a target. I didn't come to know about Greg Case till after my door was kicked in, my wife was handcuffed, and they took a bunch of my files down to the Wilshire building, federal building, right? I guess the initial case, from what I understood, was the investigation of the murder of Biggie Smalls, which was being held.
Now, when I tell y'all that he the one that first gave them Poochie, he telling y'all that the case, while they got on him and raided his home and all of this, is related to the Biggie Smalls murder investigation. So when he called in the main streets to try to line them up, that's something totally different. He just working. You know what I'm saying? And he got the Texas gun case still going. So pay attention though.
Handled on the Fed side. And I think the Feds kind of like joined forces.
And he said that was on the Fed side. Yeah, they were all deputized federal agents, specifically Greg Caden and Darren Dupree and that crew wore DEA badges. Let's go.
With Greg Caden's LAPD special units.
Right. Special task
right? So unit. I think a lot of federal funding and federal buildings and was being used, which I know to be true because it would be times the Stutterbox would call me. Like one time he called me to meet him at Stevie's on Ventura Boulevard, soul food place, right? So I get in there, I don't know, he got these two chicks with him, but Stutterbox always got women with him. Right. He like, yeah, these two chicks, she from New Orleans and she from whatever they hear, they just want to holler at us, they cool, some bad bitches, and I'm looking at Box like, all right. We order food. Box gets up and goes to the bathroom. When he goes to the bathroom, the one chick says from New Orleans says, yeah, we was here to buy 5 keys. But our connection, he went dark. Box tells us that, you deal with Suge. So I'm like, what the hell was Suge got to do with 5 keys, right? What the fuck do I got to do with 5 keys? But at the time, I'm not understanding what's going on. I said, look, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Sense. This is the connection. The investigation they own with WACK is the Biggie and Tupac murder investigation. Suge Knight, the Fed agent broad, is talking to him about 5 keys, and Suge Knight, how does she even know that you know Suge Knight, nigga? Nigga, you out here running your mouth trying to get up in that bitch drawers, not knowing she's a Fed.
So I make my way to the bathroom. Instead of going left, I go right to valet. I get out of there. 15 minutes later, Box like, where you go? Because he didn't came back. Where you go? Man, I'm on my way home. Oh, girl asking me something about 5 keys and Suge and all that. I don't know who you with, bro, but watch your back. I don't know what that's about. Yeah. Now, what's shocking is, fast forward months later, I find a tracking device on my diesel. It's in the book. I let him find, I know what it was. Right. I call my company. I'm thinking they put something on my diesel, trying to monitor my driving versus my logbook, right? And this my mechanic that still works down there today. will verify this. I called him on the phone. Hey man, pissed off. Man, you put something on my, on my truck. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Call local police department. Whole time, Craig Cadence is listening to the wiretap. So I guess they was able to see where I was at, call ahead. So when I called, the police department gave me this mumbo jumbo. Oh yeah, they've been doing that. The trucks in the area. Go ahead and take the box off. Leave it there. We're gonna be on the way. This, that, and other. I don't know about it. I'm still in the dark. Right. So this when the light came on. When they raided my home, they watched my wife take my kids to school, come back, they come in. They're running all through the house. They don't find her. They find a firearm that's registered to my wife. Right.
A firearm.
Greg thinks his leverage is, WACK lives in the house. He's an ex-convict. Right. He's supposed to be around firearms. Little did Greg know that I'm not a resident of the state of California anyway. So I own like 7, 8 houses at the time. Matter of fact, at that time, I had about 12. I was heavy in real estate. So they took a bunch of my files and go down there where they.
So now he's saying he going down there because they found one gun and they took his file. This is why he going to the federal building. We got a super chat before we finish this though, Yael. Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Iceman Vamp with the $5 super chat. Greg, Reggie, tell these niggas I ain't the police. I can't do that. But man, anything and everything that is given to the DAMU Kiwe Conversation is highly appreciated. Salute to you, your family, and your tribe.
Salute. Good looking, y'all. Hey, let's get back to the content.
My attorney was Jeffrey Brody at the time. Tell Brody to meet us at the Wilshire District. We get up there. It's Officer Greg and his partner. But this what fucks me up. When we come off the elevator, I see a bunch of people in FBI flag jackets. Guess who one of the persons I see? The fucking female from New Orleans that I asked about the 5 keys. See, this get deeper than what he talking about. Right? And he was already working with the feds on whatever he been working on with dealing with everybody in LA County. From the understanding with my attorney and Greg, they didn't know Box. Box was sent to them by the feds. So the question.
The understanding with my attorney and Greg, that how is your attorney got an understanding with a deputized federal agent? Oh, I should have knew then this nigga was ratting.
The question everybody need to ask is, what was he already doing with the feds? He was already working with them. It's documented, right? So when I came off and I seen the chick, because she was real fine, like a Creole style girl, right? I said, damn, that's the one. That's when the light came on, but it still hadn't registered. I still don't know at this time. I'm telling myself, oh shit, I wanted to Box. No, this motherfucker's the feds. I still ain't put it together. So when we sit down, my attorney go to threaten to file a harassment suit. I live in the gated community. You done kick this dude's door in, embarrassment, this, that, other, this, that, and other, this, that. We still don't know what basis they had for that. It doesn't come out till we're pressing about this lawsuit until we get to the bottom. And they have a talk with my attorney like, look, man, we need him to drop that lawsuit. Things that happen between then. I've been pulled over leaving Encore Studio, Game Studio. Right? Searched, cuffed up, ran through my car, didn't find nothing. I go to Burbank Police Department. Okay. I memorize the license plate number of the vehicle. So y'all made to file a complaint, harassment, this, that, and other. Got my attorney on the phone, this, that, and other. Right? You can go pull this shit up. I'm pretty sure it's a case number to this. Right? They're like, I give them the license plate to the vehicle. Right. It don't make sense. That's definitely LAPD vehicles, not ours. They offer offers like off of San Fernando in the LA area. Yeah. Go to this address. I get to the address. I'm in there like talking my shit to whoever the watch commander is. And they like, we don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, yeah, I just left Burbank. This license plate is registered to your police department. They pulled me out, searched my vehicle without my consent. At this time, I'm oblivious to this shit. All this is box. Right? They trying to catch me dirty. Right? Guess what walks in the door? The two fucking officers. It's like 2 in the morning. I said, that's them right there. So even Greg says, he's like, yeah, you was a different type of animal because who memorizes a license plate number? Right? So I didn't know until Greg was like, look, man, you got this lawsuit on us. We don't know nothing the fuck about you. We don't want to know nothing the fuck about you. And I think Greg had made his mind up, because I don't know what it went in previously, that he had it with Stutterbox. So he tells me like, yo, this dude right here is the one put us on you, this.
He done had it with Stutterbox. So he tells us this is the one that told on you. Hey, y'all, we got a super chat. Iceman Vamp said you supposed to read that like you was CS2 Back, bro.
I didn't.
There it go right there. We put it back up on the screen.
Nigga said, Greg, Reggie, tell these niggas I ain't the police.
That shit sound way better now. Hey, Iceman Vamp, thanks for the $2 super chat, man. Everything you donate to the DAMU Kiwe Conversations, appreciate it. And y'all did it, man. So you got your money's worth, man. Let's get back to the content.
It's just another. I'm in shock. Because I never had discussions with Stutterbox about my trucking business, what I did. He would always call and tell me, yeah, my homeboy Baldhead, some dude named Baldhead. My homeboy Baldhead drive trucks. But what, he don't make no money like that. He's still struggling to do this, that, and other. So I think in his head, he's like, how this dude living behind the gate with me? He got Mercedes Benz, his kid is going to private school. Like, I think in his head, and like, okay, I know he do business with Suge. He put together his own little thing and says, because he's asking, where you going? Oh, down there by TJ. But it's a city called National City where the car carrier boats dock. Yeah. So we load Bentley, Porsche, Toyota, Mazda, all that's loaded down there. Right? And he was like, where you headed? Oh, man, I'm going northwest. It was a great run. Run played like 15, 16,000.
That's a fact, Raekwon.
Great run, right? So I think he put all this in his head that, because he knows some truck drivers, he would always reference some dude named Baldhead from his neighborhood. I don't know the dude. Yeah. Man, he don't make that kind of money. So I think in his head, he's like, this dude doing something. And he fed him. He didn't even snitch. He lied snitch. Yeah. That's a different kind of snitching. Because you fabricated some shit and then told it to the police and put them on me. Right? Mm-hmm. And that's there it came. But Reggie working on told me working on getting some tapes and stuff because he's very adamant about what he did or didn't do.
So Reggie was working on getting some tapes of Stutterbox ratting. You don't need the tapes of Stutterbox ratting. As soon as we talked to Stutterbox, he admitted that he told that he should have kept it in the street, but he says he was putting security on his niece because they were going to kidnap his niece who still lived in his hood. But if he got to wear that as a rat, that's not a question, nigga. The question is, once he told, and then he told on you that y'all got the plan to extort Shaquille O'Neal and Robert Ross, the same way you said you tried to extort Future, the same way you said you extorted Kanye West and Kim Kardashian with the Ray J sex tape, the same way that you said you extorted De La Hoya. This is your MO. And Mark Stevens said it in his statement to the sheriffs, Detective Coet and Paul Fournier. And Stutterbox said the same thing in his statement to the sheriff, Detective Fournier and Detective Coet and Paul Fournier. So listen, we saying, how'd you get up out that extortion? And then we'll get to these guns and this other stuff later.
Everybody in Los Angeles the fact that he could sit there with Spider Logan and whoever this other little dude is that don't know how to talk, I don't know this little dude. And
this other dude is who don't know how to talk. See, this was the damage control interview after I exposed him.
They say, yeah, we know you told on the homies, but that's cool. He says nobody went to jail. Well, I'm confused. In CCB court, them 7 dudes got on the county jail bus and got transported to downtown and came out of the back in LA County jail jumpsuits. They fought that shit down there 9 months. What does he mean nobody went to jail? They was in jail for this case that you pointing the finger at them on, right? What you mean? The only reason why they beat prison is because they was able to line you up, make you perjure yourself on the stand, and claim you wasn't a fucking informant.
Okay, the reason the main streets walk was because Stutterbox perjured himself, which is true, but there's also a lot more to it. And we'll get to that after this super chat from 205 KK. Yeah.
Can you hear me, Deuce?
Yeah. We got a super chat.
We got 25K with the $4.99 super chat. All the rats. Salute anything and everything that is given to the DAMU Kiwe Conversation. Highly appreciated. Salute to you, your family, and your tribe.
Thank you again. Appreciate that. And appreciate that 205 KK. Damn, this shit trying to close on me. Hold on. Hold up. CS2 Back trying to use his powers. Let's go.
And in walks Greg Cadence, which I orchestrated that with Mark Stevens.
He said he orchestrated Greg Cadence coming into court, exposing that Stutterbox is a rat and that Stutterbox is lying in court. And he's doing this for what reason? But he set that up with his lawyer. Listen to this man. You got nothing to do with this case, right?
Because they was able to line you up, make you perjure yourself on the stand, and claim you wasn't a fucking informant, and in walks Greg Cadence, which I orchestrated that with Mark Stevens and my attorney. The only one came from that. You dropped.
The only one it came from him orchestrating his lawyer and Money Mark Stevens, which is a damn lie. Money Mark Stevens said that's a lie and you a rat. Greg Cadence said that was a lie. You're a rat, nigga. How the fuck you orchestrating with a deputized federal agent and a target of the investigation? This police officer believes that Money Mark Stevens ordered and paid Del Dog and the Main Street Crips to kidnap Robert Ross. So how did you orchestrate with him and Money Mark Stevens to get off that case? The only one, the feds, deputized federal agent, OU1. Well, hey, didn't you just say the only way you get up off the feds, you got to give them a body? Now we know how you know that. You were speaking from experience. Let's get back to the content, man.
Shit, we dropped the shit. I used it for that to help a certain individual out. I called my attorney, had the attorney put Greg Cadence and Mark Stevens together.
He had his attorney get with Mark Stevens with Greg Cadence. Nasty work.
They put that together.
So basically what he's saying is he snitched on Mark Stevens. Why is you giving Greg Cadence Mark Stevens' name, nigga? Why is you giving him Mark Stevens' number? The same Mark Stevens you called on that wiretap. And Mark Stevens saying that's not what happened. This nigga's a rat.
to ask Box on stand, if you go pull the paperwork, have you ever been a confidential informant to work for the LAPD, the FBI as a known snitch? He lied on the oath and said no. Greg Caden takes a stance, provides a document that this dude is in fact one of our informants, this, that. At that point, the judge looks at it. He perjured himself. Therefore, any allegations or any claims he's bringing on anybody is non and void. They dropped the charges on these 7 Crips and let them go. So in a sense, this power roof freed the Crips. But, you know, my target was to help another individual out. And that's where that came from. And all this, you ain't got to talk about it. Go to CCB court. You can use the main dude's name, Liddell Ross, Robert Ross, the people, which is the DA side, versus Liddell Ross. That could be a controlling document at CCB court. Pull that up, and you'll have all the transcripts. Or go to Google and put Robert Ross in there, and it'll pop up Channel 9 News, Channel 11 News, you know, what it was. This ain't no, you know, and it amazes me on how everybody act like they don't know. I guess it's the statute of limitations just to tell it. But, you know, hey, they got to live with that. I'm not worried about it. You know, I've always kept communication with him, answering my phone, because he's one of those dudes you got to know how to see him, know where he at. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I got tons of text messages. Speedy, our man from Hard Time Hustle, is incarcerated right now. You know, witness that man on the phone saying, I told on WACK. I got the recordings. I'm just waiting for the right time to flame him up. I told on WACK. I was hating on him. Speedy's a reputable Crip. Those of y'all know him. Tap in with him. One thing about him, he gonna side with what's right. So, you know, I ain't gotta do no back. I'm not finna do no back and forth with a known rat. Brother Will from the Fruit of Islam and the Nation of Islam went to these court dates and watched this man point these fingers out. These is real people, right? It was a lot of people in there. So, and it's documented. But if everybody want to act like it didn't happen, cool, it didn't happen. I was always a target. A target is not a CI. They try to flip a target to a CI by catching the target up on a situation.
And that's exactly what happened. Look at this nigga face. Hold on. Look at this nigga eye. When he get to talking about, I was a target, they try to flip a target to a CI. This. Oh, man. Yeah, hey, peace just me. I hope you caught that word, huh? Orchestrated. You orchestrated with Greg Caden. That's kind of like some form of cooperation. That's a favor that Greg Caden owed you and his partner, Darren Dupree. You know what I'm saying? Orchestrated to help send him to Mark Stevens so that he can help the Main Streets beat the case. How do you orchestrate with a deputized federal agent or LAPD officer, period, if you got nothing to do with the case? You say you was on the Suge Knight side of the investigation. So what you give them on the Suge Knight side of the investigation? Because we see what CS2 Back gave on the Main Street side, and we're going to get into that paperwork. Look, we almost finished with this video. But see, one thing I learned in exposing the debriefers, you don't necessarily have to expose them. You just let them expose themselves. Let's go.
And he's in fear of going to prison or whatever, and then they try to see what he can give them on somebody. That's how that works. We know the game. I was a target.
But they're never able to find anything with you doing anything wrong to try to use that against you.
Greg wrote about it in his book, Murder Rap, chapter Stutterbox.
Yep. And they even depicted that in.
That nigga said Greg wrote about it in the book, depicted in Murder Rap. Yeah, in Murder Rap, Alonzo Zoe Scott, nigga, what the fuck you mean? Depicted in Murder Rap. The book, obviously, you want a federal agent to child, I ain't seen a more helpful Paru in my life. blood knife. I see that young and scared to speak on the bullshit WACK doing, but speak on everything else. Selective politics. Youngsters out there, this is why y'all stay away from that gang shit. These niggas is different. WACK100 Esquire, attorney-at-law. I bet this ninja dream about Fed cases in his sleep. 205, who would accept a favor from the feds? CS2 Back is ready to tell the world he's working. He's tired of hiding it. Well, he gonna have to tell him on this Big U case. This nigga think he in one of them gangster movies, but he said it wrong. You don't call the police to arrest the enemy. Use the police for heads up on raids and shit. He the police. Street Flames Crew TV reactions. This now? No, this is exposed. We live right now though. Like he's trying to give up a body now and put it on Luce. Oh yeah, it's some nasty work going on with him and Luce. See, he been knew Luce was riding. You know what I'm saying? Fact, shaking my head. Reg 86. See how his eyes look? Yeah, that was nasty work. So let's get to the work. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the work. And then we're going to talk more about, well, we could go to that first. Let's go to that first. You know what I'm saying? Because we could show that he's lying. A couple things he lied about. He said that he was going to pick up his wife's property that they took from him, because remember he don't live there, right? And so they couldn't put the guns on him. They couldn't put the guns on him. So let's go here. So he said the Louisiana Creole police broad, said something about Suge and 5 Keys. This nigga, they're investigating death row, Suge, and they thinking that he's running drugs for Suge. Let's close this out. Boom. And look what happened. Let's get to this real quick. He says he gets to the 64th floor, and he walks up to the upper conference room. And we'll let y'all hear more about the upper conference room now. But because he said that about the Creole girl, let's go to this one first.
Second thing they had against me, they press play, wiretap. This is why I know when I hear.
They press play once he gets to the FBI headquarters building, talking about that they got him on wiretaps. I thought you went to go pick up some files from the police that they took from out the office. I thought they took one gun and some files from the office. But now you get down here in the upper conference room, and they talking about, and the Fed broad is up there. The Creole girl is up there. And they said that they got you on the second thing they got you on. We'll get to the first thing in a minute. The second thing they got you on is what? And they push play on the recorder?
Second thing they had against me, they press play, wiretap. This is why I know when I hear certain wiretaps was conspiracy, how they get you.
So they're talking about conspiracy and having him on a wiretap. And that's how he knows about wiretaps and how certain things is how they get you. Because he got caught up on the wiretap. And you know, anybody want to take a guess? We finna change the poll. Let me read the other poll, right? So boom. Lion eyes. Why Kim don't go get her own straps? He's a felon. He can't go pick up the straps. Nigga probably was running drugs the way he reacted when he saw that tracking device on his truck. WACK is the target who always turns it to the helpful Paru. All the lying and ratting he doing, he broke hiding, shaking like a stripper. He can't pick up somebody else's straps. Fact. Yo, you need to put those clips together. When J-Rock knocked WACK out, first he said he didn't get touched, and he said he just felt wind, and he said he took the punch. That's a good thing. The upper room, yeah. Big Reg was Box wasn't lying. Archbishop Moore say California looking crazy right now. California? Nigga, where you from? Matter of fact, fuck where you from. Nigga, how about that, nigga? Since you want to run with that narrative over one bitch ass nigga, half the niggas in LA and California want a boo-bop from LA to the Bay. Shout out J Dig. See, now he got access to a wiretap. How he know how the feds operate? Right. How do he pick up his wife's property if it ain't his home? Facts. Facts. Dude's younger arrested Shanika Townsend. He said the gun belonged to his wife. I'm going to find that clip. Oh, I got the clip. I'm going to play it for you right now. I thought New York was full of rats. New York is full of rats. You know what I'm saying? You act like it ain't full of rats. You know what I'm saying? There's rats all over this motherfucker, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Once the rat extermination stopped, then it went bad. Okay, we finna get to it right now. I'll just play that clip again, and I'll watch the full video, and we're going to back it up some. Oh, shit.
I'm telling about a nigga that's moving dope on the trucks.
Yeah.
And remember they went and showed him putting the tracker on the truck and they pulled the nigga over and all he had was magazines in the back?
Yeah.
Uncle Jerome is stutterboxing. The nigga in the truck is whack. That really happened.
Man.
It's a book, actually, nigga. Look, PTR. It's a book called Murder Rap by Greg Kading. So you go to the chapter called Stutterbox. You're gonna see a picture of me, him, Suge. The police that all these snitches work for, when he retired, he exposed them all. Keefe D from Compton Crip. He exposed all his informants. So that's the picture in the book in my PTR. That's that one. That's that my brother. Me, Suge, and that Stutterbox to the left. Right?
Yeah.
So if you go to the chapter called Stutterbox, they gonna break down everything he did. They like, yeah, out of nowhere, he came in, gave us this man's name, told us he had a trucking company. If you want to get the Suge, you got to go through him. He moving cocaine and dope from here to there. They spent $300,000-$400,000, nigga, with wires.
So he's saying that Box told them if you want Suge, which they're investigating Death Row and Suge, and they want in the Biggie and Tupac murder investigations, that they gotta go through WACK. Box is telling them. How do Box know? Well, I'm quite sure Box knows some things because WACK is always name dropping. WACK is always talking about somebody else's business. This nigga talk about Jay Prince's business. This nigga talk about Jay Diggs' business. This nigga talk about Big U business. This nigga talk about Ray J business. This nigga talk about the Game business. This nigga talk about Deuce Sims business. This nigga talk about Maria business. This nigga talk about Yael business.
I talk about business. You can't dictate how I do my business.
He talk about Shaq's business. This nigga talks about Jim Jones' business. Bro, we could go on and on and on. All he do is run his mouth about other niggas' business. Now, Stutterbox is on. This is his neighbor. And he riding with Stutterbox. You think he ain't told Stutterbox all these secrets trying to get close to Box? Those Box have put him on in the game?
Business. I got the business.
So he done told Stutterbox something about Suge, and Box done told the feds, if you want to get to Suge, you got to go through the trucker, the truck driver. That's his driver. Nasty work.
Tracking devices, all kind of shit. They came into my crib.
You chilling with the answer?
I lost a dog that day. My dog Wacko, one of my bulls. When they hit the back gate, he locked on the nigga. They had to shoot the nigga like 7, 8 times.
Man.
Kill him. He came in, cuffed my wife. It was like 40 agents, my nigga. And couldn't find shit. Had to walk up out of here. He sent them. He had them on me. They thought they was going to find something in the house. He didn't find nothing. I still didn't know what time it was. Let me tell you what I knew what time it was. So when they come in, they hit my home office. They was searching about 18 minutes.
He was.
When they got to the home office, dude called the search off. Because one of the reasons why they went in front of the judge, they filed some shit called living beyond my means.
So he said 10 minutes after they was in his hit his house, they're in his home office. Mind you, he not even at home. He get pulled over in his truck simultaneously. And he said the search warrant was because he was living beyond his means. Is living behind your means of crime? No. So that ain't even a crime. Let's get back to it. So he lying. But he said they stopped the search. But mind you, they stopped the search 10 minutes or 20 minutes after being in there, but they done took these files. If they stopped the search, why is they taking the files? If they stopped the search, how did they come out with these guns? Plural.
Which kind of supported their probable cause, along with their confidential informant that they paying. He's a reliable source. So they watching the lifestyle. So when he come into the crib and he hit the home office, he sees, well, actually, let me rewind. On paper, Cass Jones make 30, 40,000 a year. That's it. As a Social Security number, I don't make no money. So they looking at everything and they like, this don't add up. But what they failed to do was run everything. So when they hit that home office and they seen all these different corporations and they seen these cars under this corporation, these houses under this corporation, this under this, he then knew everything was justified on my side, right? Because like even today, I haven't had a personal bank account 15, 16 years. Everything I do is up under a court. I don't give a when I get gas, it's up under a court. Whatever I do is I'm operating up under a corporation. So they take my files, uncuff my wife. They take her. She had 2 guns, legal guns in her name.
How many guns?
They take those.
How many guns? 2 guns. 2.
Call my attorney. We go down to the federal building off of Wilshire and Sepulveda, whatever that shit is down there. Now, this one I knew what time it was. When I go up to the 50th or 60th floor, nigga, we come out the elevator, nigga, ain't nothing but FBI flak jackets walking around this. About 2 months, maybe about a month or 2 prior to this happening at my crib, Stutterbox invited me to this spot called Stevie's on the Strip, soul food restaurant. So when I get there, it's 2 females there. It's 2 females there, right? Now, most people move a certain way. I'm really an eyeball type of nigga. Whack don't do, I ain't off into. So when I get there, it's him, it's 2 chicks at the table. I sit at the table. What up, Box? What you need me for? Oh, man, nigga, just, get you out the house, nigga, hang out a little bit. 2 women, 2 of my homegirls, this, that, and other. I said, oh, okay. Yeah, how y'all doing? About 5 minutes, he said, I'm finna go to the bathroom. When he go to the bathroom, the chick start popping. She telling me she from New Orleans. She came out here to meet with this nigga. This bitch ass nigga answer his phone. She come out here every month to buy 5 keys, all this shit, right? So when she talking, I'm looking at the bitch, right? Bitch bad. So when Box come back, I tell him I gotta go to the bathroom. So I make my way to the bathroom. Instead of making the left, I make a hard right to valet. I get on up out of there.
You chilling with the answer?
Right? When I got to the 60th floor, T-Money, guess who I saw the FBI flak jacket? The bitch.
That's
The bitch.
crazy.
Right? So I say, damn, that's the same bitch. So by now my antennas go up like, damn. I'm saying this nigga box with a fed and don't even know it. This one I still ain't know what time it is, right? So we get into the conference room. They got like 7, 8 feds, whoever they little leader is, whatever y'all call him. I'm sitting down, me and my attorney going crazy. We filing a lawsuit, harassment. Y'all embarrassed my client. He lives in a gated community. He can't live there anymore. Homeowners Association is filing complaints against him because you guys came the way you came. His neighbors are frowning upon him. All this shit. We playing for the bag, right? So dude says, well, we still got your client on 2 different situations.
Now, mind you, this is in a conference room. Listen, y'all didn't catch that part? He's in the FBI headquarters in the conference room with his lawyer. But I thought he went to go pick up the one gun that was his wife's. But now he just said it was 2 guns. But he's going to pick up this gun in the files they took from his home office. But remember, he doesn't live at that address.
What a fed and don't even know it. This one I still ain't know what time it is, right? So we get into the conference room. They got like
hashtag upper conference room. Wiretap WACK100. Nasty work.
7, 8 feds, whoever they little leader is, whatever y'all call him. I'm sitting down, me and my attorney going crazy. We filing a lawsuit, harassment. Y'all embarrassed my client. He lives in a gated community. He can't live there anymore. Homeowners Association is filing complaints against him because you guys came the way you came. His neighbors are frowning upon him. All this shit. We playing for the bag, right? So dude says, well, we still got your client on 2 different situations. He like, is that right? We'll put him on the table. We walking out of here, right? So first situation, he said, well, we found firearms in the house. He's an ex-con convicted felon. He can't be around firearms, right? So I stopped my attorney. I said, well, you ain't found no firearms in my house. He said, yes, we did. These firearms are such.
So we're going to get to the firearms right after this. I mean, remember he said Big U, all of the Crips, he sell guns to so the Crips can kill Crips. But he's saying that these firearms wasn't his, they were his wife. And there's more than 1 firearm. There's 2. And them ain't my firearms and all of that. So the brother in the chat, Black Caesar, said, I swear, the first time I heard this story, the gun was her father's old gun. I'm right or I'm right. Bro, that means the first time you heard it, it was with Greg Caden came to Clubhouse. Because he had Greg Caden lie and say it was her father's old gun or something. 1 gun. Let's go into that real quick. I'm glad you brought that up, bro. Let's get to that. Because you're 100% right. But it was Greg Caden that says that.
Might find some things out that would help us maybe get some leverage on Shook. So it was just like that. And so we're like, all right, we didn't know any better. We're like, well, the FBI says this guy's
he debriefing
is worth listening to.
With his lawyer.
So the guy we talking about that we're listening to is Stutterbox.
Right.
So Greg, before you go any further, how long does a motherfucker gotta be like working with the FBI before
KS
they're calling a guy like you that's investigating the case as serious as you have to say he's a reliable source?
Well,
Greg, explain to him the different level of informants you have, and that answers the question better.
So there's a CI, which is a confidential informant. There's a CRI, which is a confidential, reliable informant. there's a witness. You know, there's different levels of informants and sources of information. And so you know, as cops, we're just going to listen to everybody. And in time, you prove whether or not they're reliable or not. But you don't just disregard somebody because you haven't proven their reliability. So, you know, I don't know what Box had going on, you know, the whole Main Street thing and all his drama and background going on with that case. I became involved in it later, but at that point in time, they're just saying, hey, you should talk to this guy. He may be able to give you some information that will help with your case.
Yeah,
that's it.
Hey, Greg,
So
so could you tell them what level they told you that he was? Was he reliable? Was he a CI? Had he worked in the past for them? Or what if you could tell just a different level that that they represented to you that he was?
yeah, and to be perfectly honest, I don't remember exactly what the, you know, language was or what the, you know, qualifications were. It was just like, hey,
His
we have this
lawyer was
guy
there.
says he can help you guys out. We're working with him on something else, and so, you know, give him the time to hear him out, and that's it. I don't remember if they said he was established as a reliable.
You portrayed him as a reliable, meaning that he gave reliable information in the past in the movie. Just FYI.
Yeah, well, it's a movie, you know, so, you know, people do what they're going to do to make these stories more entertaining. I'm just telling you that what actually happened.
So when you got with Box, hold on, Reggie. When you got with Box tells you that this is guy that if you look into him,
ex-convict.
Mike could give you or lead you to him doing some illegal business with Suge Knight. That was his whole thing.
Yes.
And that guy was me.
You're right.
So where did it go from there?
So we said, all right, we'll give this information the benefit of the doubt. And we began to kind of look at you and figure, okay, well, the claim is that they're doing interstate transportation of narcotics. And so we do what we do in order to determine if there's any truth to that. And so we start investigating you. And as you know, it runs its course. We don't find anything incriminating or anything to validate the claims that Box had made. And then,
what steps did you take, Greg? Did things happen to me? Was my home? Like, y'all really fucking looked into me.
Yeah, we did. We looked into you. We wiretapped you and started to track your truck and do everything we could to verify whether or not the information that we were receiving was valid. And ultimately, it turned out not to be. We did a search warrant at your house and came up pretty much empty-handed, with the exception of some worn-out old gun that I think belonged to your wife's dad or some shit like that. And that was it. It was ultimately a fucking waste of time.
All right, so then,
Wait, what did he say?
I did,
with the exception of some worn-out old gun that I think belonged.
With the exception of some worn-out old gun.
To verify whether or not the information that we were receiving was valid, and ultimately it turned out not to be. We did a search warrant at your house and came up pretty much empty-handed, with the exception of some worn-out old gun that I think belonged to your wife's dad or some shit like that. And that was it. It was just
the gun, worn out old gun that belonged to his wife's dad. But before, he said it was two guns and they belonged to his wife. So on top of that, wouldn't they be able to see who the guns belonged to before they confiscated them? Right? And how can an ex-felon go pick up some guns that were found in the house that doesn't belong to him? The house isn't in his name. Remember, that was his defense. I don't live there. I've been an Oklahoma resident for 20 years. Look at my driver license, right? So if that's your argument, how are you going to pick up any property that was taken out of a search by these feds? And an ex-convict pick up a gun. And then if that's what you went up there to pick up, how did you end up, why would you take your lawyer first and foremost if all you're doing is picking up this your property that was taken? And then why would you take a lawyer with you? Then how did you end up on the 60th floor? The 60th floor of a building that only has 17 floors. The Wilshire building, the FBI headquarters building on Wilshire, only has 17 floors, right? He keeps skipping. Right. Big Reg is supposed to be. I'm double checking like I do Agent Orange and his minions. Now Caden told WACK to bail Kiwe D out and whacking him. No, I think WACK was trying to bail Kiwe D out because as Kiwe D has been charged in the Tupac investigation, murder investigation, he has access and probably one of the only people outside of WACK100 getting the documents himself, which will establish that WACK100 is CS2 Back, and that WACK100 told them Poochie killed Biggie at the behest of Suge Knight. That is one person who could get that paperwork and has a right to that paperwork of who ordered and who killed Biggie Smalls, the notorious B.I.G. And as Greg Caden was investigating both, he could get evidence of who was arrested for what. He could subpoena WACK100 to court and question him, and he would have to tell the truth or be held in contempt of the court. I stay in Atlanta. We just have 5 floors, but okay. No, it's 17th floor. WACK is spinning the narrative because he never said any other city. No, he said on Wilshire. Duke seems to done. G for Vendetta, what up? Frank Sinatra said this some wild shit. Caden was going to smoke Kiwe D. 2 channels at once. My boy ready for the fuck shit. We wiretapped you on the words of Stutterbox. Fact, the raid was a throw-off. This your bro Jimothy checking in. Jimothy, salute to you, King. Dupart Lou. Woo, this is Greg Caden. Now, is he alive? Yeah, Greg Caden is alive. Was it an old BB gun? Nah, bro, these were some real guns. But an ex-felon in possession of a firearm is an ex-felon in possession of a firearm. He has constructive possession to them firearms. He left that house to go do a pickup, a big pickup. They made sure they got him out the house because Stutterbox also told them that it was like Fort Knox up in there. He's told them that WACK100 was selling guns, right? He told them it was like Fort Knox. Greg Caden says that because they didn't want to go risk having a shootout raiding his house, that they had a company call him for a pickup on this truck to get him up out the house. So when they raid the house, he wouldn't be there with all of the guns. So when they went up in there, they actually found guns. We heard it was 6 guns. He said that there was 2. Greg Caden says there was 1. Well, why is a deputized federal agent invited to Clubhouse to lie on your behalf about how many guns it was and who guns it were? And then those same guns that we're concerned about, you're in the upper conference room and he tells your lawyer, well, we have your defendant on 2 things. Oh, yeah, the first thing is he's an ex-convict in possession of firearms. Yeah, this is where they flipped you. This is where the debriefing went. You know what I'm saying? This is where it went down. two snake cops, Reggie and Caden. That's fact. No papers, Officer Caden. He added the papers because he is not. He added the papers because if not, he definitely wasn't going to pick them up. Right. Well, he wasn't going to pick up no guns. On top of that, the day that he goes, they raided his house April 25th, 2008. And he didn't go talk to those people on the 64th floor until April 27th, Sunday, the same day that the FBI office is closed. That's what he's not telling y'all. Sundays, the federal FBI headquarters office is closed. And then they raided his house Friday. So why then, when they raided your house and they stopped your truck simultaneously, searched your truck, why didn't they tell you right then and there, we found these two guns, your ex-convict and constructive possession and access to these two guns? Why didn't they tell you at that point, your ex and read you your Miranda rights and tell you that you were caught on the wiretap? So they let you go in your truck, even though they already caught you on the wiretap, even though they already raided your house. And then 2 days later, they tell you, oh, yeah, we got you on wiretap. Oh, yeah, we got you the two guns. It doesn't work like that, buddy. They raided your house expecting there was guns in there because that's what they were told, and they found guns. So now they need to use that leverage to flip you because you were the target to get flipped to get to Suge Knight. They wanted Biggie's murderer, and you gave them that, right? They said that you were also caught on wiretaps. More than likely with the Louisiana Creole girl that was bad. We know about Freaky Blood. Everybody who was on Clubhouse has heard about Freaky Blood. You know what I'm saying? This the same nigga that wiped up a bitch with 3-4 kids. All he met on Clubhouse after King Yo hit the bitch. Couple other niggas that we know hit the bitch. And some New York niggas ran the bitch. Some Atlanta niggas ran the bitch. You know what I'm saying? And you got this 40-something-year-old bruh, R&B, who knuckles look like mine. I done had stitches and staples in my knuckles, right? And her knuckles is rougher than mine. This the type of bitch he wiped up off what you call it. This nigga had Mama Lisa busting her pussy open, and she's a grandma. I'm talking about this is like essentially granny porn, right? And all of these other girls, there's dozens of them off Clubhouse. Old Freaky Blood. And you see this bad Creole bitch. In your mind, you trying to see whatever it takes, whatever plum it takes, so you can get you a piece of that old Creole thing, right? And she get to popping it about 5 keys. And you, oh yeah, you know I can holler at Suge. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because Box already telling them in front of you, oh yeah, that's Suge boy. He can link you up. Then Box go to the bathroom and leave because he lining your ass up. But you so horny. You think Box don't know how horny you is? You his neighbor. You been to Vegas with him. He already knows what your weaknesses is. You know what I'm saying? He knows you Freaky Blood. In fact, he the one that first exposed that you were gay. After 20 years. J. Edgar Hoover in drag.
I was not gay. I was not gay.
Right.
What you talking about, blood?
Right. Whack cool with 2 cops. That's Snake shaking my head, and y'all saying Whack thorough. Hell no, we ain't, and that's not how you spell thorough. Street Flames Crew TV. But we ain't never said he was thorough. That's why I didn't do business with him. Nigga tried to recruit me. Why are you wearing a mask inside like a neurotic freak? Hey, you know what? I am a neurotic freak. The Lord MCD. I'm preparing for surgery, and my shit is very sensitive and in pain. and the air from the air conditioner in my house really hurts it. Every time that air rushes up in there, it sends me the pain. I wear this to get through my lives. You know what I'm saying? And I'm heavily medicated right now also. But so I'm a neurotic freak right now. You know what I'm saying? This interview is on Clubhouse, right? Yeah, that one was on Clubhouse. It's on YouTube. I don't know where the replays is at from that one. I think they was in Trolls Nation. Maybe they did have the hunted side at that time. So let's go to this. So from there, this nigga had an FBI agent come on there and lie, but a felon going to pick up a gun, whether it was 1 gun, 2 guns, or the 6 gun. A felon going to pick up the guns is unheard of. Application process or checking in, all they had to do was run the serial numbers on the gun, but he's not supposed to be nowhere around guns. Shit, I got arrested for asking the price on bullets while being a felon. But even more than that, Kim would have been arrested for aiding and abetting the constructive possession of an ex-felon. But we know that he capping. We know that them was his blammers. Them people in Clubhouse are slow. They believe everything WACK say. Can't say that about everybody on most of Clubhouse, but we was on Clubhouse tearing his ass up. That's why he blocked us. You know what I'm saying? Reggie has an identity crisis. He doesn't know what he wants to be. Cop, drug dealer, snitch, government, informant, gangster, security, fake mogul. Hey, bro, I think you wrong. I think he know exactly what he want to be. Everything you said there. He was a cop. He was a drug dealer. He was a snitch. Is a snitch. A government informant. He wore a wire on the mayor of Compton. No, I can't say he's a gangster. He believes he's a gangster. Security, right-way security, and a fake mogul. I think that you're correct on all of those. And I think he's correct that that's what he wanted to be. If Big U lawyer don't subpoena WACK100, that would be malpractice. Oh, don't worry about that. It's gonna happen. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Free Big U in the chat. Where is WACK paperwork? Hint, hint. Well, you said where is it at? We can't get WACK. We got the wiretap, but we can't get WACK100 paperwork, and I'm gonna show you why. So here's the actual paperwork. You can go to activechucks.com. You'll see where it talks about CS2 Back. Y'all can't even see this. Let me put this on here. Boom. ActiveChucks.com. Wow, you said Suge got Biggie killed. No, I'm not saying Suge got Biggie killed. I'm saying WACK100 told Greg Caden and the task force on the Biggie Tupac murder investigation that Suge ordered Poochie and paid Poochie to knock down Biggie. Facts. Then Tanisha Swan, who is Suge Knight's baby mama, came about a year later or 2 years later. Don't get me wrong on the time frame, and corroborated CS2 Back, WACK100's initial statement. So to get off this shit with the Main Street case and the Texas gun case that he had, WACK100 provided this information and tried to line up Del Dog and Money Mark Stevens on a wiretap. That's what he did as far as snitching. That wasn't enough. He had to give them something clean. So what he tells them and what they wanted was Suge Knight and Biggie's killer, and WACK100 had intel or information that he provided that that's what it was. So it was not me that said Suge got Biggie killed. It was WACK100. Twin facts, I call WACK the Pied Piper of Clubhouse. So let's get to this real quick. If you go to you'll see Dell tells Stevens that your boy Box went sour. CS2 Back wants Dale's phone number. Back needs to talk to Dale. It's important. So this is basically what the police is summarizing at the top what happened. 8/5/2008. So White House was raided in April. April 25th, he went to talk to the feds April 27th. So then you got May 25th, June, July, August. So 4 months later, WACK100, after his house was raided, they found those guns. They got him on wiretap. WACK100 is calling Mark Stevens, trying to get in contact with Del Dog. Well, CS2 Back is, right? And we heard Detective Greg Hayton today when I played the audio saying that that's WACK100 that's on this call that's calling Mark Stevens. He says he's sure Wack will admit to that. When Dale talks about the Box incident, Box being kidnapped, and Back wanting to talk to Dale, Mafia talk, and someone is talking too much. Box, so they're saying Box is snitching. Sounds like Back has info on Box and talks about phone lines being compromised. So Back has info on Box. Box is talking too much, he writing, and the phones is compromised. Box punked the game. This is what the nigga CS2 Back is telling Money Mark Stevens. 2 messages was left on Mark's phone. Mark is involved in the gang business and operations. Duke, Back is calling on another line to Mark. So now, this is the summary from the police about what's going on in this call, right? JW transcribed by KLS. Mark Stevens hit me about 3 times. He want me to give him your number, so I was calling to clear it with you first before I give him your number. He called me and Del Dog. I'm cool on that, brother. Mark Stevens. Oh, okay. So you don't want, all right. So you don't want to do no holler? All right. Del Dog. What's up with you though, man? Mark Stevens. Well, we'll talk, man. You know, I just need to know, man, you when I talk to Back, I'm just gonna tell that nigga, man, oh man, well, you know, homie, you been on the phone with dude, and you know who is the dude? Stutterbox. Shane, you know what I'm saying? You right, man. No telling what lies he told a nigga on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Del Dog. And then though, when you call the dude, you make the dude talk about certain stuff on the horn. You know that's what they got going on. I ain't got no time for this dude. So Del Dog is telling Mark Stevens, yeah, and when you talk to the dude, you make the dude talk about certain stuff on the horn. You know, he's finna. Now they know that Stutterbox and WACK100 ride together. They've been on the phone talking, and they're trying to get them caught up on the wiretap. So he tells Mark Stevens, when you talk to the nigga Back, get him to talk about certain stuff on the horn, on the phone. Get the nigga to implicate himself on some shit on the phone. You know, that's what they got going on. I ain't got no time for this dude. You, Mark Stevens, I mean, you know, that's good information. See, now I know how to, like I said, I ain't helping the whack boy in a minute. You know what I'm saying? He called me out the blue yesterday. Not yesterday, yeah, last night. Left me 2 messages. And this morning. And I just needed to know how to play it cool. You know what I'm saying? Del Dog, nigga probably said, man, nigga going to jail, you know? Laughing. So they laughing because the gig is up. You know what I'm saying? They know that Wack then got caught up and he trying to line them up. I asked that because they are obligated to tell the truth, even though it's an interview online. They're not compelled to tell the truth only in court of law or officially interrogated. Wait, you talking about who you talking about? The feds? No, a 137 informant. they aren't obligated to reveal the identity. They can't. They're forbidden from revealing the identity of a federal 137 confidential source, even to a judge, bro. Even to a judge. So you're wrong there, Big Red 66. Matter of fact, let me get to that real quick, and then we're gonna be bringing this to an end shortly. It won't take me that long to get to that either. Let me see where we at. On the poll, is the Big U indictment going to blow WACK100 cover as confidential source? 71% say yes. 19% said, nah, DAMU and Kiwe been exposed them. And 10% say no. So that's 350 votes. You know what I'm saying? 351 votes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, boom. We're gonna end that poll. I'm gonna start another quick poll right now. Start a poll. Now the question that we ask is what 100 CS2 back? Boom. That's it. Let's go here. Boom, boom, boom. We got the new poll. Get active in that poll. Participate in that. And then what we was gonna get into was let me see, Reggie Wright. What is his name? Phil Carson. Reggie Wright. Boom. So we finna get into that right now. Wait, how long is that one? Yeah, here we go right here. 5 minutes. So let's get to this. All right. We finna get to this. This is for the brother who thought that they had to tell the truth about him being a CS 137. Let me lace you up real quick like a fresh pair of chucks. Hit that like button if y'all just coming in. Let's go.
Go ahead, Reg.
Why didn't you ever come knocking on my door and talk to me? You saw the 302s on me before, right? You know that I was an open book, cooperate. Why you never came and just said, "Hey, Reggie, I want to talk to you about these things."
You want me to?
You know, I knew.
You want
I
me to
knew
answer? Hold on. Oh, Reggie, if that's your question, do you want me to honestly answer it?
Yes, sir.
You sure? Because I'm trying to protect you from yourself here.
No, go ahead.
Okay. We did talk to you, Reggie, and it's documented. Okay. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. Yes. This is what I'm trying to explain to you, Reggie. Whether you remember things or don't remember things, I don't have control over. Okay? Yes, it's documented. Okay? Now, here's a good way. So I want to kind of segue out of this because I am trying to protect you. Okay? You understand that at the FBI, and I think it's probably a good way to end this part of the discussion.
Okay.
Back then, when I was working this case, there were two types of sources that the FBI had. They had the kind of source, we call them a 270 source. And that basically meant it was somebody that was trying to work off a beat, like they had been, arrested for drugs, or let's say they were in prison.
Which Kevin Hackey was. Make sure you let people know.
Slow down. Slow down.
Okay.
Slow down. No, slow down.
Okay.
I didn't say that. And a 270 source is somebody that's willing to testify. They're willing to get a break on whatever the situation they're caught up in, and to try to get a break, they're willing to testify. They have to testify, or we would not open them up as 70 source. Okay? Period. The other type of source is what we call the 137 source, and that's somebody that's not willing to testify, and we will never divulge their information, and we will never state whether they were an FBI source or not. And the reason for that is for a couple reasons. One, it's not only to protect the source, but two, it's to show sources out there that when the FBI gives their word, when they want somebody to cooperate, if that person is willing to cooperate, but they don't want anybody to know that they're cooperating, they don't want anybody to know the kind of information they're providing or what the reasons are that they are providing the information and cooperating, that we will never divulge their name. That includes even in front of a judge. Okay? Now that's a pretty strong relationship that the FBI would have with what we call the 137 source back then. Okay? You understand that? You understand the distinctions between the two, right?
After the Texas
Okay,
case,
yeah, got you.
Okay.
it was still pending.
Let's just leave this right now then, that
Okay.
at first you didn't think that you'd ever met with me. And
I didn't, but
now
if
you
you say you was LJ partner, what
Exactly.
LJ? If you was LJ partner, then I agree. But I
Shout
met
out
with
to
you
San
before.
Bernardino.
Okay, you know what? For your Reggie, you got to trust me on this. For your own safety, let's just move on to something else then, okay?
I'm not worried about it because it's obvious.
Well,
yeah.
It's for your own good. Anyways, right.
Anyway, okay. The
I'm
other
just
thing
saying,
is,
be careful, Reggie. When you and here's the thing, I've
even if I did talk and said anything to you, I'm sure Greg Hayden and them and all of them got that information, and so they had that information in their file.
Let me tell you this right now. Okay. If I had a 137 source, not just for this Biggie case, but for all the other cases that I've worked, those documents would not get handed over to an LAPD officer. Period.
Not
I just
even
got done. Hold on.
Okay.
I just got done telling you we would not even provide that information to a judge. Okay. So there's certain now also when there's certain files are restricted. Okay. That doesn't mean that just anybody, that means any FBI agent even could go in and say, take a look.
Hey, I'm going to go to some shit, Big Reg. You wrong, bro. On the 137, they're not going to have the FD 302, and it will not be made available. You can't request it, bro. They have an obligation to protect them. That's what he's saying, bro. And I'm gonna show you something else. Let's go.
Look at another FBI agent's case file. Period. It's a need to know basis. You're under this assumption, and again, Reggie, this is where you keep making this mistake. You're assuming things that are just wrong. You're assuming that any FBI agent or anybody that's been deputized as an FBI agent is going to have access to all FBI cases. That is incorrect.
On the
Period.
13th, I go to surgery.
It is. Okay? So what I'm saying, it's probably in your best interest that we move on to something else. You can trust me or don't trust me. It's not, because it's, you know what? It's no skin off my back. But I think we can now agree that, yes, you have met with me. Yes, you have talked with me. Yes, I've met with your father. Yes, I know what your background is. In fact, I mean, in some of these other interviews that you've done, you keep saying like, Phil Carson doesn't know shit about me. I've never met the guy. That's wrong, isn't it?
This was the first that I hear that, and if you, I remember LJ, and if you said you was his partner, then I met with you.
Okay.
Like he did have somebody with you.
Okay, we should probably. Okay, I think we'll move on.
So yeah, that's a federal FBI agent, Phil Carson, checking Reggie Wright for believing that Greg Caden would know every the FBI who worked that case, that they would know every FBI agent's informants. And that's just not the case. He says it's a case-by-case basis. Only officers assigned to that case who has clearance for that type of information on the need-to-know basis. So not even all FBI agents would know who in every one of their informants unless they had access and that kind of clearance to get that fact. That's not public information, brother, especially on a 137 informant. 137 informant would be like WACK100 saying, Oh, I just left up out of Yael's job. He got an AK and 2 kilos of cocaine selling dope out the back window of his job. And because he's a reliable source, they're going to go up on that and utilize that to get the search warrant and raid it. Lead to a bust and he gets paid. Or he gets time credit off whatever his last case he got was without ever having to testify. He will never testify. You know what I'm saying? That's part of their agreement. You know. But we also got this, since you think that you could just get access to that. I got Freedom of Information Acts on all of this, bro. They is not giving you that. I might have it right here somewhere. I'm gonna look for it in a minute, but let me read through this real quick. I gotta find this. So I jumped in Greg Caden. Man, I pressed Greg Caden. I'm finna get this all on here so it'll be in audio and I don't have to keep going to look for it because he blocked me. So he got so frustrated, he got disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? So check this out. So hold on. I'm trying to grab my Facebook Messenger back channel with Detective Greg Caden, the one that is buddies with Reggie, the one that WACK100 brought to Clubhouse. Yeah, man, I'm still looking. It should be coming up. Hit that like button if y'all just coming in. Show a little bit of support. Appreciate it ahead of time. Pay it forward, man. You know what I'm saying? We over here cooking. We got the content. Damn, I thought that was it. Yeah, you still with us, bro?
Yo.
Let them know where they at.
We on you? Are we on Clubhouse?
No, not tonight, brother.
Man, listen, y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all sitting in one of the hottest lives on YouTube. Man, y'all sitting, salute to the chat. That's where it's at. Salute to the Blue Wrench Mob. That's on their job. And salute to the friends that tapped in for the first time. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to this content. You sitting with Deuce M's the Don. Yael the Kiwe pop star. DAMU Kiwe Conversations.
Okay, before we read that, let me go into the chat real quick. And cause we definitely want to be up in here. Wack been exposed. Hold on, let's get to this. Shout out the mods. Let's go. Man, we way up here, huh? Yael meet on Beck Avenue. Oh shit, I gotta plug up my the computer before it die out. The charge is almost gone. All right, bam, we back on. So I think this is far enough. Free draws, free Big U, all facts and no fiction. Free Big U, Crenshaw District needs them. That's a fact. Don't forget to find the J-Rock clips. Right. I talked to Poochie, CS2 Back. That's why I lied on him. Twin, that boy brought his permission slip to Wack to go on that field trip. Big U got squabbles. He never killed nobody in his life. He not a shooter. Man, that's what I was always told too. And they trying to put hot ones on them. Free draws. That's how you know it's a setup. About to roll up to this. The homie been running it up on Freaky Blood. I talked to dog. Raekwon Franklin. This was one of the first channels to play the J-Rock Knock Me Out Blood video a long time ago. That's a fact. Yael, meet me on Beck Avenue. He don't got Beck Avenue no more. In fact, that studio for sale right now. I got the pictures, bro. I did my 10 years in prison over a rat. My best friend walked on the stand to tell me you can have the streets. I'm just going to work and go. I'm cool. Be a lame. Happy Mother's Day and safety. I'm gonna call y'all back. Raw 57, CS2 Back. The reason Bond first in shambles right now. I talk the dog is the quote of the year. Y'all need to put that on something so I can waste my money on it. Bro, you ain't got to tell me again, G for Vendetta. Check the link. I'm going to make some t-shirts shit tonight. Check the link on the store on Active Chucks on YouTube. We gonna help you spend your money on something. WACK and Stutterbox played each other with the phone tap. Facts. I'm talking about when he said he didn't get knocked out and then he said all he felt was win. Then he said he took the punch. 3 different stories. Yeah, that's a fact. We didn't make it a short, but we covered it. He said he just ate it with the gay man. What's the gay man name? Jason Lee. Since when did raids occur with no paper trail? Slap 100. They'll switch the subject real fact. S&Y WACK. Did you say the 27th? 27th was the day he talked to him, April 27th. But they raided it and served the search warrant on it. What you call it? Matter of fact, I'm finna get into it right now. Shout out to the mods. And y'all gonna be able to see where I got the confirmation. The WACK boy Rico coming. Hey, that's a fact, Ricky. He think he outsmarting these niggas, but Loose Coochie, he knew Loose Coochie was working, but he didn't know Loose the liability. Thank you, Deuce, and y'all for staying what y'all are. Real. Hey, man, the only way we can do it. Deuce, how you feel about the poll? Valley. No, I was referring to the interview with Greg, Reggie, and WACK on the Clubhouse interview. Yeah, even on that, they ain't going to reveal it. I don't give a fuck if they in a courtroom. They not going to reveal a 137 informant to a judge, bro. So how you think they going to feel compelled or got to do it to you? They got their own, the feds got their own obligations to their assets. But here we go. So I'm gonna go through all of this so we can have it on record. Then y'all gonna take us up out of here. I'm trying to locate. This is Greg Caton. Let me make sure y'all can see this. Okay, yeah, y'all can see it. Boom. Greg Caton. I'm trying to locate the investigative report on your interview with Cash Jones and the audio or video recording thereof. How can I obtain that? I don't think it would be available, Lamonte. I don't think they would destroy evidence of an ongoing investigation. He waived his Miranda rights. I'm talking about what? So there has to be documentation of that. And any statement pertaining to the investigation, pertinent or non-pertinent, would not be destroyed. Greg Caton says, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying it will be hard to get your hands on it. As a citizen, don't I have a right to access such public records? Not necessarily. Then I say, the only way that we the people wouldn't have a right to access public records is if those records contain confidential information. Even then, I should be able to get a redacted version. Greg Caton says, or if it's related to an open homicide case. I'm asking for WACK100's paperwork when he went to talk to them on April 27, 2008, and he tells me one of the reasons that they wouldn't be able to give you WACK100 shit is if it's related to an open homicide case. I said, I understand that. That in itself indicates enough about the contents of Cash's statement therein. Jones didn't provide any pertinent info as far as we were concerned. So I say, not alleging he did. But what is pertinent to you and what is pertinent to the public is subjective. Tupac is still very loved religiously, so what happened or is alleged to have happened should be available to his family and followers. Subjectivity aside, it is not the practice nor purpose of law enforcement to involve itself in public affairs that are of a non-criminal matter. If Cash has something to say about Pac that is criminally non-pertinent, you can simply reach out to him and request an interview. He then can make his own choice. I hit the thumbs up. To help you further, I believe Jones was in CYA at the time both Pac and Big were shot. You could probably verify that. Therefore, if he was incarcerated, any thoughts had about the murder would be opinion or hearsay. Well, they do have hearsay exceptions in courts in California and even in the feds. There's a lot of hearsay exemptions. Said, thank you for your help and assistance. I says, as far as your task force for Tupac Biggie murders, but I specifically questioned the Main Street case, the kidnapping and Stutterbox. Yeah, that's an interesting story. I said he waived his Miranda rights and spoke with you in relation to the Tupac and Biggie murder investigation. You admitted that you didn't know what was going on with the Stutterbox and Main Street case at the time you spoke with Cash Jones. It wasn't until later that you got involved with that case. Now he says, I was there before it started. And then I sent him the clip because he lying. Greg Caden says he doesn't know what Back has going on with the Main Street case. Greg became involved later. I said, then why did you say you didn't know what was going on with Stutterbox in the Main Street case? So you were adjoined to the Fed case before it started? So then he sends me his calendar. This is his calendar. January 10th, 2008. This is work. He goes to work at 0600 hours, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Detective Brule briefing with Chief Brennan. Met with C. Metro Morez and Mark Arenas. Those were the two who originally had were the leads on the case until Detective Coet, and I'll get to that paperwork so that y'all be able to see that when I finish reading that. Del Dog and bringing the case to, and I don't know what that say, EOW 2000 Rampart, right? So the investigators on the Main Street Crip case asked me to help them federalize their case. Do y'all hear when WACK says that the case was never federalized, that it was the 302 is the conversation that they get and the statements, the debriefing that they get with the federal inmates. I mean, with the informants. But this is telling you that he helped the Main Street Crip get federalized. I opened up the case as a federal case 2 weeks later. So in January 20-something, the Main Street case was federalized. The case name was The Main Attraction. So when WACK says that the case was never federalized, he's lying, right? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Because Cash Jones admitted that he went to the 64th floor in Wilshire to speak with you guys and saw everyone in FBI flak jackets. So Cash Jones did speak with the investigators in the Main Street Mafia Crip case. So when you said as the lead investigator for the Tupac and Biggie murder investigation, Cash had nothing too pertinent to add, that didn't include any information that he may or may not have provided pertaining to the Main Street Crip investigation, ? He didn't have anything to say about anything. Now, y'all know he lying about that, right? And you know how we know he lying about that? Because WACK said he told them that that house wasn't his house, and that that house wasn't his house. Those guns wasn't his guns. They asked him and told him that Stutterbox told on him. They asked him about Suge. So we know that they're lying because they press play and then they press stop. They told him that they had him on wiretap. So we know he's lying. But anyway, let's get back to it. I said, then why is Mark Stevens saying that Cash called him several times trying to get in contact with Del Dog, but Del Dog was cool on that brother? In the transcribed wiretap on the Main Street case, that matches up to CS2 Back calling Mark Stevens. In the wiretap, Mark Stevens even refers to not helping the WACK boy in a long time, while telling Del Dog that he just called several times saying Box went sour and the phones is compromised. I sent them the wiretap. Then I sent them the documentary when it was viral on World Star Hip Hop and my YouTube channel. Say you did your movie with the Hollywood effects. I did a 3-part documentary investigating the real truth, questioning 2 players directly involved. He said, I'm telling you, Cash Jones was not an informant, period. You can choose to believe or you can choose not to. I don't know what else to tell you. I said, I bet. Thank you for your information. So I sent that. Then I sent the other thing about 137. He get triggered. Jesus, Carson is such a fucking moron. All Reggie needs to do is post the 137 paperwork, which I have done on numerous sources. I said, I'm sure you have, but you were only privy to 137 paperwork for cases you had access to. He's essentially saying that you weren't clear for access to all FBI files, only selective access, need to know basis. Okay, what's his point though? The only case that matters is the one we're talking about, right? So, back to the brother's point, that was evidence, and he even concurred that he doesn't have access to all FBI files or DEA files just because he's deputized as an agent. Every case and file is assigned to certain agents, and they get clearance. He doesn't have clearance to every FBI file, neither does all FBI agents. So he concurred to that, bro. So I said, correct. What date did you raid Cash Jones' house? What date did Cash Jones meet with you in council and spoke with you? I'll look. It might take a few days. So then about 20 days later, I'm like, you never got back with the date Cash House was raided. Cash House was raided, nor the date when you spoke with him. If you got to hide that information, I understand. No reason to hide anything. Nothing to hide. I just forgot. Okay, how soon can you get it to me? What's it for? My documentary. Search warrant. Friday, April 25th, 2008. Meeting with Cash Jones and attorney Sunday, April 27, 2008. Right? So those are the dates that the search warrant was served, Friday, April 25th. And then he met with Cash Jones and his attorney at FBI headquarters, which is closed on Sundays. But WACK100 was singing to the choir on a Sunday in FBI headquarters in a conference room with his attorney. I said, thank you for your assistance. So I sent them the thing, Caden lies and says there was no mention of Cash in the Main Street case. So then I sent them the paperwork. I said, why are you lying about this? If you look at the paperwork, right, on these pages where he said Cash's name was never mentioned in the Main Street case, you see that it says received a phone call from Ross's brother and recording artist Ray J, telling him that Ross had been beaten up. Stevens later said he received calls from Ross's brother and Cash Jones. Stevens claimed no knowledge of a kidnapping. Then down here, within the next couple months, Mark Stevens received a voicemail message from Ross stating, I need to talk to you, man. The big fella, he's slipping. He's making a lot of mistakes. Soon after, Stevens received a call from Cash Jones. Jones told him that Ross had a videotape of Shaquille O'Neal having sex with a woman, not his wife, at Ross's home, and that Ross could take the tape to TMZ and get a lot of money. Investigators asked Mark Stevens if Ross, Jones, or anyone else ever demanded money in exchange for the tape. Stevens said no, that he felt that this was an attempt for Ross to get back in contact with Shaquille O'Neal, right? So let's go. Let's get up out of there. Boom. So I sent Greg Caden the sheriff's paperwork, right? Here goes another one. Ross, now that was Mark Stevens who implicated that WACK100 came and told him that Stutterbox got a tape of Shaq fucking a bitch that wasn't his wife and that TMZ would pay a lot of money for it. Boom. Here it go. Ross, who was still upset over the fact he was owed money, had a friend named Cash Jones deliver a message to Mark Stevens and Shaquille O'Neal. Jones told them that Ross had a videotape of O'Neal having sex with a woman inside of Ross's home in July 2007. Stevens, who had been to Ross's home, knew that he had surveillance cameras throughout his home and that O'Neal had, in fact, been there. Ross told investigators Fournier and Coet, because this is who interviewed Robert Ross. Detective Paul Fournier is the lead detective, sheriff, and lead detective on the Main Street Mafia Crip investigation. And Detective Michael Coet is his partner. And Stutterbox told them that he viewed the surveillance footage from the surveillance system monitor. However, he never downloaded it to a tape. He said the footage has since been recorded over by later surveillance. Ross was adamant that he was just bluffing in hopes that he would get the money that was owed to him. The kidnapping and robbery took place approximately 2 weeks after Jones delivered the message to Mark Stevens and Shaquille O'Neal. So Stutterbox told on WACK. He tells them that he had WACK go tell Shaq and Mark Stevens about this sex tape. Basically, WACK been exposed. Basically, that in an attempt to extort Shaq and Mark Stevens for money that he felt he was owed from the Ray J deal. That's what happened. Hope should come home. I missed the 80s, 90s, and early 2s. Wasn't bad. What's going on now is like telling someone in the 20s we have phones that allow FaceTime. Somebody put it in the chat. Wait, who on the phone? Which phone? I don't know what you're talking about. Hocus 4/5. I'll get back to the thing. Let me finish reading this. So then I sent the other thing where detective, remember I was telling y'all who the lead detective was on the Main Street investigation while WACK was lying, trying to say it was Greg Caden, grew up, was shown to pack. The investigation was delayed. Wait, hold on. Delayed due to the ongoing federal investigation and wiretap case involving several of the suspects involved in the kidnap robbery. On July 16, 2008, investigators Fournier and Coet spoke with Detective Quintero regarding the above case. Investigators told Detective Quintero that they were assigned to a task force with the LAPD and they were involved in the Main Street Crip investigation. Investigators requested this case be reassigned to them, and their request was granted. The case was assigned to Detective Fournier and Detective Coet. Those were the leads investigators on the case. So I asked them, why did you lie about it? I said, so you lie about Cash Jones' name being in the paperwork on the Main Street case. You allow Cash to present you as the lead investigator of the Main Street Mafia Crip investigation. Your name isn't even in the paperwork. It clearly says Fournier and Coet. So you questioning the legitimacy of the paperwork that Mark Stevens provided? Let's compare it to your wiretap paperwork. You have the federal wiretap from the Main Street investigation. Then it's the West Hollywood Sheriff's investigation of the Main Street Crips. Then it's the 77 Division LAPD investigation of the kidnapping of Stutterbox. What I'm showing him is that I know that you have multiple agencies investigating the Main Street Mafia Crips, including the Joint Task Force, which goes into the Tupac and Biggie murder investigation. Each paperwork and each police officer's report going to be different paperwork. So if WACK100 is an informant for Greg Caden in the Joint Task Force and the sheriffs, the LAPD at 77 Division paperwork and report might not be revealing that. They might not have access or clearance to have to know that he's working with the feds, that he's working with the task force. So I said, there's discovery deriving from each of these agencies' investigation thereof, not to mention the DEA. So why lie? I heard you say that Box was CS2 Back. He was not. He was the victim and an open complainant named in the mainstream case. What is confidential about that? He said, are you on crack? Be honest. I said, pull my record. Only one crack case in your LAPD Southwest Division crash unit. Livingston and Messenger planted that. Till today, never seen that dope. I'm sure you can find the internal affairs complaint I filed stating that, although the blue wall ensured that investigation went nowhere. Yet, you didn't answer no question I asked. Is your position that I falsified these documents or that Mark Stevens falsified these documents? What documents? The discovery and wiretaps I sent you from the Main Street Crip investigation. If you are sending images, I can't open them. I'm in Asia and my phone is only receiving text. When do you expect to be back? About 2 weeks. Okay, I'll reach back out to you then. Then I said, did you tell Cash Jones that me and Mark Stevens manufactured or altered the documents, transcribed wiretap that refers to CS2 Back on conversation between Del Dog and Mark Stevens? He said, have you lost your mind? You need to find something meaningful to do with your time, brother. Wasting it on foolish endeavors will ultimately get you nowhere. Find something that increases life, not strife. Just my friendly advice. I said, no, definitely haven't lost my mind. I asked this question because that is what is being insinuated. I want an answer. And then I sent them all kind of positive shit. In qualified immunity, all of this, active chucks, in qualified immunity, one in Vegas, one in LA, back to school supply drives, active chuck charitable org, Labor Day feed the people. We fed up over 700 people. Then I sent them all of this stuff. I sent them my lawsuit against Amazon and YouTube, which I settled out and won on that. I said, what is meaningful to you and what is meaningful to me are two different things. I'm president of Active Chucks Entertainment, chairman of the board for Active Chucks Charitable Org, CEO for Thug Torious G's, my publishing company, and on the board for Badass. And then I sent them that. Not to mention I'm a podcaster, founder of DAMU Kiwe Conversations, a part of the media with Val TV as an A&R and VP of marketing. And I sent them that. And director of operations for livestreamers.com. I sent them that. With all that said, I reiterate my question. He has insinuated such publicly, bringing into question my credibility. I've thoroughly researched these topics, interviewed some of the people involved, etc. The transcribed wiretap paperwork of Mark Stevens' call with Del Dog refers to CS2 Back. I didn't add that or anything to it. You can release your copy of that wiretap as I have since you question the authenticity. He says, you're right, evidently. All the Cash Jones nonsense is meaningful to you. So I wish you the best in whatever pursuit you are chasing. I, however, think it's idiotic and of no social value, so I won't waste any unnecessary time with it. Fair enough? You see, he will not answer the question. I said, laugh out loud. Evidently, Cash Jones' nonsense was meaningful enough to you when he gave you Poochie name to help your case in Biggie Smalls' investigation. But carry on with your cryptic behavior and protecting your informant. I'm sure you don't believe any of my works are idiotic. Stop diverting. You are the big bad LAPD, well, used to be, until you were disgraced and encouraged to retire. But I'm sure you are not afraid to debate the facts with an idiot. Imagine that. He said, been debating with idiots for decades. It's nothing new. I'll leave you to your own lunacy and self-induced idiocracy. Years from now, or hopefully sooner, you'll recognize the valuable time you wasted chasing ghosts, boogeymen, and ill-conceived ideas. With that, I bid you adieu. And he blocked me. Let me close that. Hey, y'all. Go ahead, y'all. What you got to say about that, man? I want to hear what y'all think about that. Why would he put this out on the internet? Help me understand, because this is stupid as hell. I forget his name, though. Copy that. Reggie was a police officer taking drug dealers' money, and he became a rap police officer. I remember all this. Greg was sick of this interview. He said, let's wrap it up. He's saying Reggie is a source. Fact. Senator, it's all in agreement. Activity. Free Suge Knight. I missed the 80s and 90s. Lil Hawk out. Shout out to Bloods and Crips. Reggie, get on Vlad and that act like he's silent. And that's why CS2 Back is so cocky. He knows the feds won't even tell a judge who he is. But all the stuff he's admitted to online, his time is up. Yeah, he really revealed his own identity. So why would a snitch choose to be a 270 is my question. Because they forced to. The crimes that they caught with are so big that they have zero leverage in negotiation. And so they gotta testify to see it all the way through. You know what I'm saying? Hey, move, nigga. Go. But Reggie Wack, best friend, hint, bees, target, shit. Ooh, okay, laugh my ass off. How the fuck you don't remember talking to the Fed? That part, Lou, right? Lou, the LAPD and Feds don't even like each other. Deuce is right. Unless he talked to so many that he can't remember them all. What's crazy is what Greg Caden ain't telling you. He said it on another thing that WACK100's lawyer, he met WACK100 at his lawyer's office. So that means Wack talked to Greg Caden and them twice. Once at his lawyer's office, and then the one he told us on the 64th floor. So Wack definitely debriefed, and it was so good, he had to do it twice. Because it was twice as night. Hey, nigga, stop. All that backdooring is crazy. But if Big U goes to trial, he can fight to find out who the informants are. Oh, he's going to do it. I forget the type of hearing where you request that. Oh, no, he's going to subpoena Wack, period, and get him on the stand. He's going to subpoena Detective Michael Coet, who said Wack was, I'm cooking tonight. I thought y'all knew. How did Dale Dog pass? He got knocked down, man, unalive. Matter of fact, let me put this on here for y'all real quick. For those who don't know who Detective Michael Coet is, he was partnered with Paul Fournier, who was the lead detective on the Main Street case. And him being the partner of the lead made a statement that y'all can never forget. And this is what why Greg Caden let Del Dog and them off, because it would have revealed that WACK100 was his informant on the Biggie case. And mind you, LA already had a $400 million lawsuit from Biggie's estate, the Notorious Biggie's estate. They was suing them. So I'm gonna play this real quick. So for those who don't know who Detective Michael Coet is, don't never forget this, because that sheriff who was partners with the lead investigator said this.
Look, I was trying to strike. Yeah, that's it. All right.
Dude that spoke on Shaq, he's completely right, because I was caught up in the middle of all that.
Well, first of all, there were no arrests made other than Cash Jones.
WACK100 most famously known.
That's Detective Michael Coet. Listen to him. He's on the TV. That's me and Yael in Hollywood. I got up out of witness protection just to do this.
So all that.
Well, first of all, there were no arrests made other than Cash Jones.
What?
And he said there was no arrest made other than Cash Jones, the sheriff, whose name is in the paperwork that we're talking about. My auntie got paid by the feds to tell on everybody. Facts, dude. Listen to Reggie's past submissive voice. He was calling Mark from the 60th floor. DAMU and Kiwe Conversation. Leon Knight, salute, bro. Appreciate. He keeps saying the same thing. Buddy Flowers, he probably was. The fuck said, no, what more proof do y'all need? How many almost rats y'all know? Club jail. This is what WACK figured out with this loose cannon case. Listen, now that's something else. I'm finna play this for y'all. Damn, I was finna go. You done got me started, Kid the Barber, but I can't let this go. So this nigga WACK realized that the nigga Loose Cannon was a double agent. See, WACK knew this nigga was a rat. They all knew he was a rat. Shit, he was ratting publicly. We all knew he was a rat, right? Let me text this real quick. Warrant, serve. Oh, y'all ain't gonna want to miss this. Hit that like button if y'all just getting in. All right, bam. So I think I got it. I don't want to get Vlad. I don't want Vlad be hitting nigga shit. So I don't want to get hit. But I think I put it over here. No, I just gonna go to the channel. Y'all ain't gonna want to miss this, man. Cause WACK figured out that this nigga was a double agent. Right? Let's go, Vlad TV. Let's go on here. Okay, that's a video, so it's a short, huh? No, I think it is a video. When it happened 4 hours ago. OTF WACK 6 hours ago. Here it goes. Yeah, tell me, can you hear this shit real quick?
What's going on with you and Loose Cannon right now? I've heard some interesting stories.
Well, I mean, these guys, man, that they come into this game and
No, he went on a Sunday.
And I'm one of those guys that's been around. I've been around for a minute. And people that know me, it's funny because even he said it before. He said, man, you know what's dangerous about you? Something could be going on and you won't even be able to tell if you know what's going on. So, you know, when you know certain things are going on, you test certain people, you know, that's just like if you were to tell your editor, right? Hey, care about security guard. You got somebody that'll buy all the equipment, right? And tell him, right, leave the door unlocked. He's gonna come in and get it, and then we'll cut the money up, right? You're telling your editor to tell your security guard this, right? Mm-hmm. If the security guard never says nothing to you, and you come back at 8 o'clock at night, right? And see the doors open, right? Mm-hmm. At that point in time, you know, the security guard is not with you. Yeah. Now, some people will react, fire them. I don't want to see you again. You know what I'm the type of guy to do? Hey, tell the editor, yo, they went by there, but it was some people in the parking lot. They gonna do it another time. And I'm gonna keep him right where I can see him. And I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna give this on the back. I'm gonna do all that. But what you do know is he's not with you now. If the security guard calls you, hey Vlad, what up, bro? Hey, look, bro, your editor got at me talking about some wild stuff about this. Now you know he's with you, right? So
Buddha on the go, salute.
To see what happens. And that had long been happening. So as he's running around and doing what the things he thinks
A
he's doing,
CS.
I really believe that his mission was to come in, infiltrate, think he can utilize me for my resources.
You're talking about loose cannon?
Yeah, try to get me to include myself in some things that he initiates, so then that backlash falls back on me and get myself out the way. But he what he didn't know is he should have known the day of the no job.
So WACK is saying that loose cannon wasn't just trying to knock Big U off the streets and set up Big U. Loose cannon came working and targeted two people, Big U and WACK100. And this is why he's scared. And he said something. Then I say, stop, nigga. And this is why he's so scared, right? Because Loose Cannon already said that WACK100 had words. These niggas had words with WACK100, and then WACK said, nephew, let's put on a demonstration. And then WACK, and he said, and that's what he did. But the beef if you believe Loose, he's such a liar, you don't know what to believe, right? But he said this the night that it happened, when he went live, right? And he said that WACK said make it happen, and that's why he did it. So if he did that under instructions by WACK100, that's a conspiracy. WACK is now implicated into that felony. On top of that, WACK came back with that watch. It was a robbery also. So now he's not only implicated in the assault, but in having it being reasonably foreseeable that if they were to rob and double strip the nigga and take all of it and take his shit, that it would turn into a robbery. WACK, it has exposure at being charged on the no jumper beating. But WACK said something else, which he said he peeped it, and he said that WACK was that Loose Cannon was trying to get him lined up back at the Crip Cop 600 pennies fake ass boxing match. And guess who he was trying to line him up with getting them to attack? Bosco 100. YouTubers, I hope y'all clip this. WACK100 says that Loose Cannon was trying to get him involved in crimes to take him off the street and trick him up off the street. He knows this now. It was cool when Loose Cannon was just implicating Big U in crime and trying to get Big U off the streets and help succeed in that. But when he implicated himself in crimes and implicate WACK100 in crimes, now it's a problem. Pay attention.
At night, he tried to line me up. I didn't let it happen. You know what the lineup was?
You talking about before we walked in or after we left?
When we got in.
Yeah.
No, you know what the lineup was? The lineup was Bosco. If you was over there, what did not let happen?
You didn't let us get on Bosco. Bosco ass.
I continue to say don't nobody touch Bosco, right?
Yeah. We was beefing.
I also said he gonna wake up in the morning and dish and say everybody's a bitch, right?
Yep.
Do you see the lineup in Bosco? Do you understand how that would have been a lineup?
I overstood. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm asking you. Do you understand how that would have been a lineup?
So Loose Cannon was trying to push an issue to get them to make Bosco content and assault and do some harm to Bosco. And WACK at the 600 pennies fake ass fight in Pasadena. You know what I'm saying? He been New Deuce. Who who got arrested on that Main Street case. Dell Dog, 50 Cent. We could go to the list. Hold on. Let me read it to you real quick. Let me see. And it just because somebody didn't get arrested don't mean the nigga didn't tell. I don't know where y'all get that shit from, but who got arrested? It don't matter if a nigga didn't get arrested. Or a nigga say that nigga Deuce M shot that nigga Tupac, and just because the police don't got enough to arrest me, does that mean you didn't snitch on me on shooting Tupac? Y'all crazy, bro. I don't know who laced you young, who raised you niggas, bro. No, for real. It don't matter who if they got arrested or not, whether they prosecuted or not. You could, nigga could say that right now, and then I turn a snitch and never go to jail. Does that mean I didn't get told on? Yeah, bro. Y'all got the game fucked up. Niggas ain't supposed to talk to the police about another man, period. Now, if you want to tell on yourself and accept responsibilities for crimes you've done, hey, so be it. That's up to you. But let me see, where is that work at? I'm getting it just for you, brother. I'm gonna read off the name just for you. Let's go. Since you want to know who got arrested, we gonna do that because we got all the receipts, but it's just what was the use of that question? Shaq and Money Mark, they never got enough evidence to lock them up. But look, here it go right here. January 12th, 2009, file number, there it go. Kidnapping, 207 PC, robbery, 211 PC, action, active victim witnesses interview, victim, Robert Ross. The date, February 11, 2008, at about 12 o'clock. Location, this is the address to the pink dot. Suspect 1, Liddell Rawls, he was arrested. Suspect 2, James Harbin Wood, he was arrested. Suspect 3, Pat Rat, Marlon Hunt, he was arrested. Suspect 4, Dion Hawkins, a.k.a. D-Lo, he was arrested. Suspect 5, Taekwon Wingate, a.k.a. SK, he was arrested. Suspect 6, Eddie Hill, a.k.a. Lil West. Suspect 7, Brandon Nieder, a.k.a. 50 Cent, bro. Those are the 7 main streets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The WACK100 said he orchestrated and helped free the Crips. Those is the 7 main streets. You know what I'm saying? And that's from the work. You know, I made that work up, but I don't know none of those dudes. Real names didn't grow up with none of them. None of that. Liddell Rawls, obviously, he was hood famous, so niggas knew about Dell Dog, 4 Life Records, especially as I used to fuck with Big Jess. You know what I'm saying? When it was Mafia for Life Records, you know what I'm saying? Damn, my phone died, then boom, boom, boom. I put it on the charger, then on Paru, I lost my thought. Stop and react to it every 20 seconds. Mike B, what resources? This nigga CS2 really think he's gifted. What resources? His supply of butt plugs. Everybody that just came in, hit that like button for us. We appreciate it. Thank you and salute, man. Salute, man. Appreciate that, Mike B. Keep regulating that. I'm over here scratching my head. LOL. Them Chucks active, champ. Expose the debriefers while exposing the exposers. One up, one down, burning swine on the Sabbath to a crisp. M&M's took cook, champ. Yeah, I'm cook. He lying. He targeted Big U and made Goofy Loose to snitch on TV. Wack knew Loose was slow and stupid to implement Big U and crime. Bro, I think you're wrong. He is stupid, but he ain't as stupid as y'all think, bro. That nigga Loose Cannon already had cases pending and investigations pending that he was already working on in Riverside and in the Inland Empire. So he's been working. He implicated Gigi in crime. He implicated Crazy in crime. So he's been working. And he knew that he was facing jail. So he got up under Big U to take him down so he don't have to go to jail, and got up, then flipped the script and got up under WACK and played close to him to try to take him down. Nigga, that nigga is not as dumb as y'all think. That's what WACK is telling you. He just realized. Nigga, the nigga came to take them both down, nigga. That nigga's a snitch. Just like his daddy. Daddy probably put him up to it. Yeah, WACK run with all snitches to weaponize his enemy. What you were saying, y'all? Yeah, we already got that. Free Brick Baby essay. Rolando Mota said free Brick Baby. Blood still on live. Mr. Nelson, it was a simple question, and I don't know who raised you getting upset and emotional over a question. I ain't emotional. It's a serious question. You know what I'm saying? The paperwork is already up on the channel. We've been running this shit for 3 years. But we did it again just for you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Salute Deuce and y'all from New Orleans. Salute to New Orleans. Yeah, take us out, bro. We cooked these pigs and these rats today. You know what I'm saying? Rake Banger, salute, fool. Algorithmic Records, salute. Well, I guess y'all is too busy and he can't hear us. Let me see. Wait. Let's see where we're going. Boom. Blood still on live. But no disrespect, Linwood, Huster. No disrespect. But that's what was implied, as if because a nigga didn't if a nigga didn't go to jail, that means that a nigga couldn't have rat. Damn, why did you have to question who was in charge of his parenting? Not his parenting. You know what I'm saying? Raised him up. The streets raised me. So that's different. Let's go. We're going to get up out of here. Damn, I already turned it off. Salute to everybody who came through. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Hit that like button and salute. Hope where'd the brother go? What's his name? Linwood Huston. Don't think it wasn't emotional. It was just the fact. Like you saying, well, who went to jail? Who got arrested? Well, WACK got arrested first and foremost, but he didn't get caught up. But it was implying as if all of this is for nothing. Like if nobody didn't get arrested, it was for nothing, and that's not how the politics go. Nigga, you ain't supposed to say nothing. WACK went to the upper conference room and said a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? So it was just from that. Like, damn, we got to go through all of that. But cool. Nigga still went through it, and I said, damn, who raised y'all? Because where I grew up, you don't say nothing. So it don't matter who went to jail or not. If you made a statement, and that was enough to be a rat. You know what I'm saying? So back during activity, going wild. Remember, those guys aren't gangsters. They're gangsters. Send to the chalkboard to write down names. Cash. Hey, yeah, that's a fact. Look, salute to y'all. Tap in tomorrow. We got the content. We're going to break down that Loose Cannon and WACK100 beef tomorrow. Tap in. Hey, Linwood Huston. Well, I hope it ain't a bad misunderstanding. Come back tomorrow. Hopefully we can have a better get off on a better stuff. My bad for jumping to conclusions since that's not what you implied, brother. Salute, King. We out of here though. DAMU Kiwe Conversations.